a lot of people are confused going into this series. And I will ease your confusion just a little bit, just a bit. And I will show you guys a little bit of history in the LCS here about slow starts but strong finishes. Let's start early, 2018 summer with Cloud9.
I remember this.
10th place in week 3. Remember, week 3, 3 weeks of play. It's going to be a little bit rough. You're in 10th with 1 and 5. You find yourself second. Of course, I think there may have been some rough times there.
There was a 10-man roster incident.
Yeah, the 10-man roster incident.
But still, they finished second. That was good.
That was a great finish. 2022 spring, This Is Evil Geniuses. This was tied for 7th. I remember this period. They were like struggling and fighting to get into playoffs. They get into playoffs. They make the lower bracket run. Bam, first place finish. The same could be said about NRG, a team that was tied for 7th, 3 and 6 by week 3. People were already kind of looking at that roster and saying, I don't see it. I don't see it. Makes that lower bracket run, finishes first place in playoffs. I'm just saying, you may have a slow start, but you may have a strong finish. That's why for me, Team Liquid, I have taken this series.
I understand that it's happened 3 times.
Yes.
We've had 13 years of LCS, and there's been usually the 7th place team doesn't finish well, right? How do they relate to those teams? Like, I agree with you, they're bottom, but why are they like those teams?
This took me a long time to research.
Is this doing the thing again? Hold on.
Pick up those teams. It took me a while. The big thing is that a lot of these teams really struggle to get it together and have the same vision of the game.
Yeah.
With Team Liquid, I feel like there's a little bit of that, but it's mostly just not coming out on stage.
It's happened before, buddy!
It'll happen again!
So, something that has happened a lot with Team Liquid is that Steve has been able to pay, and there's a whole meme around paid by Steve.
Now, it's an old meme.
For victories.
So it's working.
There's another meme that has to do with
It's just my
money,
preview is refusing to work.
You already, at the beginning of the show, said that you trust Scrim results.
I mean, I love Scrim Bucks, and I'm the only one that's been paid by Steve.
Well, luckily for you, wait, this is a real one.
Whoa!
Give me that real dollar. They gave me real money.
Give me
I
that.
thought it was going to be fake money. I'm not giving you that one.
Okay, there you go, it's working.
I got Scrim Bucks and real bucks. I'm keeping the real ones. But Team Liquid Scrims, these Team Liquid Scrim results, are you ready? Do you think the Team Liquid Scrim results are finally going to actually translate to stage, Jack?
Give me some of this. I'm not going to go to jail for trying to pass this. Okay. These look actually like we're trying to forge money.
Focus up, Jack! Focus up!
Actually.
Paid by Steve!
Are we allowed to do this?
That does look like
Team Liquid have been crushing Scrims all year long.
Mate.
All the other teams are scared of them.
Yep.
I think it is finally going to show up on stage. Core JJ.
I need the multi. I need the multi chat. BLG369 would actually win something. No cap. Maybe Samuel
I think
could.
it's happening, Raz.
I'm excited. LPL is going to be back soon. I need to start fixing my sleep schedule
We're talking about how
to
had a real first
watch
friction,
LPL again.
Basically conflict.
What?
It was good conflict. Conflict.
Okay, multi chat is working. YouTube stream is up.
And he felt like they were coming to great conclusions, and so
Everything should be good.
Wait a minute.
I said 3-0. I said 3-0.
Wait a minute.
Kobe, you said 3-2?
Yeah.
Why did you say 3-2? You're not, invested as you thought.
I said 3-1. I said 3-1.
You guys don't have faith in
Yo, what's up, Rave?
winning some games?
What's good, bro? We're good.
Yes, you've been good.
Why is that holding $100 bills? He's been paid by TL.
Games.
Tez of the Premier League, bro. Genuinely.
Welcome back to the LCS. It's Super Week here at the Riot Games Arena, and it's do or die for many of our remaining competitors. First up, Disguised have had a much stronger start than last year, but after a tough Game 5 defeat last week, they're only one series away from elimination. Their opponents, Team Liquid, return to the stage after barely qualifying for brackets. They haven't had the performances many fans were hoping for thus far, and they've got to find their stride if they want to stay in the running. Can Team Liquid get it together, or will DSG knock them out and pull off the upset? Let's find out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Captain Flowers, joined by Azael and Emily for this best of 5 where the loser is done till spring.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy,
a lot of
actually,
pressure.
now that you say it. I also want to know if we're like trying to pass off fake money as real money in the lounge.
We should
What's
probably
going on
not
with
be
that?
doing that. It is. Look, I am going to go ahead and say we are not trying to do that for anybody watching at all.
Yeah, cover our bases.
Yo, what's up,
I
everyone?
like how you think.
Welcome in.
But in looking at
Yo, what's up,
these
Aries?
two teams, the big thing to me and the kind of surprise in all of the analysts, especially Raz's prediction, is how confident they are in Team
Flower
Liquid.
covering all bases?
I know
Well, you gotta be
so
sure,
many
bro.
of us put them at the top of our power rankings. I do still feel like there's so much more pressure on them.
Hey,
in
Jemana,
this
great job with the
game
co-stream.
because of the names on the
Saludos
roster
desde
and
Argentina.
because of preseason expectations coming, as the lounge already pointed out,
Well,
from
bienvenido,
some
amigo.
scrims where everyone
And have a
talked
good time
to,
here.
and I know you guys had the same result, is everyone was saying they were absolutely dominating everyone in scrims.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, if TL lose here, though, it's kind of the same result as Summer last year, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like they fell out, you know, you'd be 5th, 6th, and that would be a massive disappointment for this team that rebuilt, retooled, got Quid, who was kind of the hottest offseason prospect, to just have the same result as this disappointing finish in Summer would be crazy. So yeah, the analysts are still feeling pretty confident in Team Liquid, but I don't think they've shown us enough on stage yet to really kind of earn that confidence. So they have to be able to show us here today.
Do we have any mods in
how well they can
Twitch
play
chat?
against the
Because I guess
DSG,
I'm
who
streaming
has been
to
very
both now.
competitive.
Do we have
They've won
mods in
five
Twitch
games
chat?
against Sentinels. They've been good throughout the lock-in tournament. And now it's
Amber,
time to see
can
if
you
TL can really step
hi,
up and become
can
the
you
team that
set
we
up
kind of all expected them to be.
predictions for me
exactly. And
until
I
you gotta
think
go?
this is a
Yeah, the
really,
gamba.
really nice pickup
Let the
coming
people
out
let the
of
people
first pick
spend
for
their
DSG,
bucks. Yeah.
Taking away the rise from Quid.
Thank
I
you.
feel like
Just because I
when
can't see it. I
TL
can't see it when I have the
been
multi-dock up,
using
so I'm
Quid's
completely unaware
playmaking
when
or
it's
kind of
up or when
going
it's down.
for set plays, a lot of it
Just set
has
it to
been when
always
he's
set it for like
on
30
this
minutes and just
rise
manual
pick,
close
they
it whenever the
seem
game
to have
starts.
had a lot more success in terms of moving around the map. With Rise, he gives you such easy access to side lanes. So really nice pickup
'Kay.
coming out of DSG rather.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, it's also going to be comfort for Call Me, and I think Call Me had some pretty rough games against the Sentinels. A number of the DSG players did, to be frank.
It's per game.
Games that
Per
were
game
below
always.
their expected standard. Lions
Predictions
had a really
are always
shocking
per game.
series. Kryra had some moments that really did not go well. So I think there is also this question
Wow.
for DSG. It's
Yunara,
like, can you
Nico,
shake that off?
Slam.
Can
I
you
think
kind
it'll
of,
just be
you know,
Corky
have that
Nico in
goldfish memory,
response.
Forget about the last series. Just go back to playing how you had been playing prior to that series. Because there were definitely some tough moments in it. For a
Corky
number of
Nami in
these players. But I
response.
will say Castle was a big standout. He was playing really, really well. I think Sajed has been fantastic, and they're going to lock in the Nami Corky, a really powerful bot lane duo here for Sajed and Lions. So we'll see how they can perform on that.
Yeah, and as we see on the TL side, them locking in Yunara and Nico, another
Arsenal
really
going second
strong,
again? Oh, bro,
bot
just don't even
2v2
remind me,
coming
please.
out here for TL. And I think TL bot
Please,
lane
bro.
has been the focus, not just of the team, but of other teams, right? We saw even in that best of one against Dignitas, they split the map. They made it a really huge point of pressure to try to attack that TL bot lane. As we see the Ambessa coming in, most likely going to Morgan, but could also be going to Jose Diogo.
Yeah, there's always that possibility of it being a flex. Castle's most played by a lot is the Renekton's. They're going to ban that away, which does also lead me to believe that it's going to be Ambessa
Yeah, it's very
top.
interesting
They're
that
trying
call
to
me.
deny some of these more
In
difficult
terms of like
matchups here.
prio.
But DSG obviously going to be
What's the
pretty
audio
happy.
level
You know,
here?
not only did they get first
Little bit
pick, but they
high.
got full counter pick of what we're expecting the bot lane to be. You know, yeah, Quid could potentially take the Nico, but we're expecting that's the full bot lane. So they have the answer there. They have the priority mid pick, and still respect.
What was
though,
more
from
disgusting,
PSG
the
that
G2
could
throw or the
actually
KC
be a
throw?
jungle
Nexus, the
Ambessa.
GT
If they're
the
banning
G2
out
throw.
Gwen.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of covering
Someone
all
forgot
of
to hit
their
that cough
bases
button.
Also could be something to set up for potentially whatever Castle wants to pick. Did that say my boss quit today? So I came to LCS. Sorry, I got distracted. As the Jace ban coming out against DSG as well by TL.
Yeah, Castle is one of these guys that is very flexible. Obviously, the Nasus pick got a lot of attention, but he loves some of these kind of like solo queue answers and various picks. So he's more difficult, I think, to predict, which I do think is why we're having some more of these top lane protection bans coming out there. Anivia going to be taken away, has become kind of the de facto answer to Rise these days in competitive. It has really risen in popularity around the world. Had been more Cassio that people had been looking towards, but I feel like people just got so used to that matchup and were able to pretty easily respond to it just with phase rushing out of the Cassio W, whereas Anivia is really difficult to deal with.
As you see, as if they're listening, the Cassio hover, but it will be the Tlaw locked in for Quid going up against that Rise. And we'll see what DSG want to respond to on the other side.
And this is going to be the first Tlaw for Quid so far this year. Of course, they haven't played that many games, so not a big deal. It is one of his
what's up? Welcome back.
Time.
I was going to say, when I used to think of Quid and River working together on 100 Thieves, they ran the Tlaw in both positions, actually. But they also ran that Tlaw Vi so much. So we know how powerful Quid can be on this pick. As we see the meatball machine, as Clayton was calling him last week, the Scion locked in as that frontliner for DSG. Yes, exactly. That's what it was.
All right, so we'll get the Scion, we'll get the Wukong right next to it.
Someone muted. Is Azael muted? What was that? That was really weird.
Meanwhile, for Team Liquid, the last
Azael is muted.
Coming through here. What is it going to be to round out this roster? Let's see.
Guys, Azael is muted for some reason.
Up, and Trundle is going to be locked in as that final pick for Jose. Really interesting pickup. Not something we've seen him play yet thus far this year.
Trundle's good. I like Trundle here.
Yeah, I mean, I think Trundle is extremely strong. Anytime a Scion is in the game, you just get a ridiculous
Okay,
amount of value.
I'm going to run ads so that they don't run in the middle of the game, guys.
Their health and just chunking them instantly with that.
So I'm going to quickly run those. And I'll see you on the back end of those ads. See you in 2.
I love it. The Pillar also has great interactions, with the Scion ulti. You can block out that Scion ultimate, no problem with that. I do think it's a really, really powerful pick for a lot of different reasons. I also love Trundle into squishy champions like Nami without a dash. You just throw down the Pillar behind them. That can make it incredibly difficult, easy to set up for seismic shoves, for public executions, for these types of skill shots to come through.
Okay, well, because Twitch is evil, because Twitch is evil, there will be a short mid-roll, I guess. I will do my best to make sure that I run it at the best time possible, but I guess the ads...
So excited to see what we get here in this first one.
The 2-minute ad was not enough, evidently.
This is for the life of both teams. If you lose here, you are eliminated. We will not see you again until spring. Do or die, leave it all on the stage.
Stakes are high for both of these squads, and Jan unfortunately had to pause immediately when we got into game, so hopefully it will be a quick pause and we can get things sorted out here quickly. We'll let you know as soon as we do find out any details on that pause. But yeah, both teams, their life on the line here in the lock-in tournament. Of course, have some work to do if they want to make it all the way to the first stand. Thor told me that was his goal, and he's like, yeah, we've lost more games than we were hoping. We started in the lower bracket, but we're not out yet. We can still make the first stand. That's our goal. So the path at which they take is less important. Looks like we are on pause, so things should be good, and we should be able to get this one underway. Going to be an exciting one.
What's the Trundle skin? I didn't see.
Jan on that Yunara, something that I think he can really excel on, and something that he's going to have to excel on to be able to punch through the front line.
Yeah, when we were talking about this pick first coming out, he was actually the first to win on it, I think, of any major region competitor, just because of it had lost in every other region, so we kind of dubbed it the Yunara when he first started playing it last year.
All right, runes showing up on your screen right here. Everything seems pretty stock standard, not super surprised at pretty much any of this. Core JJ and Yon, the double Yonaras down here in the bottom lane. We'll see how much control they can get early. We know that Yunara is a very, very scary champion level 1. If she's allowed to stack up the Q, can force pretty much anybody else back. But so Jet and Lions should just be fine.
Yeah, and I think the big thing that we should be looking at, again, for TL is this bot lane, because I feel like they were such a stellar point for TL last year. We talked about how Yon was the best ADC in
yeah, DK will probably lose, but I think it's more about how T1 look tomorrow.
And
you really have to try and temperature check
really,
the game
expecting
tomorrow.
TL to kind of have a stranglehold on a lot of these 2v2 matchups. And I feel like they've slightly underperformed compared to my expectations, but I also do feel like a lot of teams have been targeting them, as we see them already getting the flash out of Sajed.
Yeah, Sajed kind of just overstaying there. TL got 2 first, and Sajed clearly wanted to try to fight for it a little bit more. Ends up losing his flash right off the back of that, so that already is a nice advantage. Especially, you know, as we said, Trundle can take advantage if you're missing that flash, if you're overextended. Sure, you have Valk, but he just really has to hold the pillar until you Valkyrie. And
Could we have winning draft?
And both junglers are on the bottom half of the
I think
map
TL's
now,
is infinitely easier to play.
With the control over bottom lane that his bot duo has, should be able to have control over that crab very easily as well, you would have to think.
Easy engage tools, I think, better front to back.
To punish that flash like we're
Skirmishing out maybe favored
more
DSG, so I think they need to get a little bit down on Scrappy early.
Yeah, as we see them all the way pushed up to turret, doing a really, really good job of completely taking over the push on this bot side, and really, really nice looking for this TL bot lane thus far.
Castle's having a great time up here in the top side, getting that one shoved in on the Scion. Has a lead of a few minions, but really nothing crazy in any one lane here just yet. Jose Diodo is going to make his way towards that bottom side crab, exactly as I was expecting. And you can see the pathing from Kryra just heading towards the top side river, knowing there's not really a way to contest down here for this bottom one.
This isn't a C9 game. We're not going to see the first crab battle.
I mean, especially when you have full push from TL's side, there's just not really any way for Kryra to contest that. And you have that strong side on top right now, as Castle has been laning well. I talked about it a little bit during Champ Select, but I think he has been fantastic for the team. Really was a good performer in their 5-game series. Got a lot of attention for the Nasus, but was great, I think, pretty much across the board in that series, and is going to have to also show up here today. Morgan was a guy who received so much hype, I think, coming into the season. A lot of players were even telling me they thought Morgan might actually be the best player on their team, even though he hadn't really been getting
Ramadan Mubarak. T1 will lose to the Foxes again, inshallah.
This sort of thing. So it's going to be
a
heavy expectation on Morgan. And we haven't really seen that player show up that I've been hearing about from Scrims yet on stage.
All right, you can see mid laners right now, Quid going back, making that first purchase, just buying a lot more mana for the inventory. Is just now level 5, so once we get to level 6, I want to see Team Liquid also succeed in utilizing these Weaver's Walls, set up plays.
They'll lose to Gen G.
On the Yunara, needing to stand up and be that big performer, and I think Quid being able to facilitate that with his Tlaw is going to be very important. We're talking about the guy who was seen as like
oh hey, by the way, small side note, if you're on the YouTube stream, I'll do some begging, because I'm just curious about how the analytics work.
Yeah, no,
I mean, one, if you're enjoying your time here anyway, leave a like on the stream. But if you could, just generally, when you come in here, I just want to see how the, like, if the engagement of that, like, bumps up what I expect the numbers to generally be. Not the like numbers, but, like, the other, like, aspects, like the impressions and all that stuff. I'm just curious on how the VOD stuff works.
After one of their games, he was getting interviewed, and he was on the lounge and just talking.
It would be very appreciated on the YouTube side. This should be Flash. There you go.
Nice. They get the flash out of Call Me because Jose Diodo shows up after the phase rush had already procced. Call Me had already got that burst of speed, and so didn't have it to try to get away from the pillar. That
you watched G2KC? We did.
And as soon as the threat of the
we did. We've been live for 5 hours. I only turn on the YouTube stream for LCS, and as of tomorrow, the CB LoL.
Easy demonstration of what this Trundle can do, playing off of his lanes and kind of playing around this push that Quid's Tlaw has already been able to create. And we'll see, because
what are your thoughts on the Rocket Belt Azir?
Isaac already,
I thought it was a little bit troll, but he did get value out of it a few times, so I guess it was okay. Like, it's one of those things where, like, the stats are good, it's very, like, gold efficient, but I understand and know all of the reasons, I still don't like it.
Liquid making plays with this Tlaw, easy access to side lanes, right? Like kind of
Like, I would much rather
moving
you just
around
go
map,
the stat
like,
item that like does more for your champ.
There's your Weaver's Wall. Also, Realm Warp gonna bring DSG
Really
to
hefty
the
slow
mix
there,
here
but
too.
didn't end up
Team
dying.
Liquid backing away,
They can play the
trying
fight
to
afterwards.
secure
They're
control
pushing
over
the
the
crab. Oh, the crab!
Sujet
Oh, the
off
crab!
the side. Watch
Betrayed
a little
them!
bit of damage here. Some burst out
Oh,
of
the
Jose
subjugate
on
might
way.
keep him
Uses
alive.
the subjugate to keep himself alive for now. Both
Hold.
junglers gonna be taken out of the equation, and now a flash over the wall from the Nami. As
Oh,
Team
it's
Liquid
awkward.
look for even more. Call me. Remember, no
Didn't know you
flash
co-stream
orb
CB
on
low.
the
So I
right
actually
from
got
the
co-stream
earlier
rights
play.
this week.
JJ goes in for the flash route,
So
and
this
there's
weekend will
the
be our
extra
first
kill.
CB low
2-1
co-stream.
TL.
Nicely played there by Core at the end to grab that
Well,
extra kill, but honestly, not that bad for DSG
very
considering
good
they
feeling.
didn't get the crab. So Jose had 6. Generally, that means the fight is going to be a disaster, but Sujet had some really nice positioning, kind of wrapped around the backside, was getting a ton of damage down, and that's what prompted Kryra to fly in, getting Sujet that first blood. Kryra had been kind of just harassing Jose in the brush here.
Yeah, as we see the crab fight begin, I really like how both mid laners actually end up trying to go. Only the clone gets trapped by that pillar, so then we see Sujet kind of wrapping around on the Corki, and he's able to get so much damage in along with the Nami bubble to kind of stun up Jose. And then this is just a really nice play off the back, recognizing Call Me does not have flash. Core JJ immediately goes in, lands the root, and that kill goes over to Quid.
Yeah, well played. You can see good CC chain as well, though, from the DSG side to be able to take down the Trundle. It's Rune Prison and the Nami bubble. Sujet is behind him. I thought they played that quite well. It definitely could have gone a lot worse given the scenario, but at the end of the day, you know, Jan and Quid both get a kill. Sujet, though, showing off that level 6.
Really good stuff.
The power of the Nami and the Corki.
Yeah.
Extremely high burst. And then you look at his inventory, you're like, well, surely he has some big damage. He's got a Ruby Crystal in his ear and some boots.
Yep, Corki moment.
Yeah, watch out for that. I also want to talk a little bit
Corki
about
moment.
Lions, right? Because I thought he had his absolute worst series he's had in their
Kryra has a
series
whole
against
quadrant of jungle to clear.
Sentinels, as we
Guess he has
see
first move off this chunk.
potential scuffle over this red buff.
I mean,
Fade coming out from DSG here.
are they actually going to be able to get away with this and walk out? I guess they are. We
all
all in for DSG, right? Yeah, high key, I am. I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm not. Like I am. Like I would like DSG to win this game. Like I would like for them to win this series. It would just be cool.
Snappy trades, but honestly, not a whole ton of damage.
Yeah, and I like how they played immediately, DSG rather, how they played immediately off of that bot side pressure, right? They recognized, okay, we can go in for this invade. Some
Yeah,
of
like
DSG's
I like the
invades have
I
been,
like the
let's
DSG
just say,
lineup.
highly
So if they
optimistic.
win, it's good, and I like Spawn. So if
Okay,
TL
in
win,
some of
it's
their
good.
previous series, but I like that one.
It'll be really bad for
because of how
LCS if
much
TL
damage
lose, though.
Sujet was able to get down in that
I think
bot
the
lane,
other like air
and
quotes
then
top
recognizing
teams
that they
are
could go,
fine enough.
in immediately for that. I'll go back to what I was
I don't
saying
think
about
it's
Lions
that
really
bad
quickly in that
for
we're looking for kind of a
you know,
redemption series from him, and that
I don't think
early
it's that bad
skirmish is
for the
already
LCS
a
if
really
they
nice
lose.
sign with the Nami bubble doing a lot of work there.
Right there, you can see Team Liquid
Thought you were
looking to
about to
see
curse
if
him.
Yeah.
maybe they could catch the fish out
I'm
of water.
such a curse. It's very unlucky.
Well, he does survive, so curse averted for now. But it's pretty hard to go deathless on Nami, so maybe it's just lingering. It'll come back to get him later.
Well, let's see as we continue to have junglers maintaining their presence in this bottom side of the map. Kryra's going to go ahead and start up that first Drake. Not a particularly fast
Yeah, like if
first
it's not
Drake
C9 going,
in
it's
this
just really
first
weird.
game. 9.5 minutes on the clock. Call Me is going to walk over and assist Kryra with a little bit more damage. Lions and Sujet also, considering they have the push in the bottom lane, this should be an easy objective secure.
We'll see though.
Yeah, gonna be able to grab that no problem. And one of the things I talked to Idol about before the year started was he's like, hey, we have all these players who don't have a tremendous amount of experience. Actually going into the series last week, 4 out of the 5 of their players had never played a playoff game.
Okay, we've got ourselves a Realm Warp, and they want to make the 4v2 dive as the wave is about to crash into the tier 1 turret. There's your target.
Oh, execution here's a bit.
JJ tries to defend,
what?
but there's just too many enemies. Disguise
Wait,
brought everybody they needed. They get both kills, and they get everybody
Okay,
out.
never mind. Execution was
love
great.
that from
I
DSG.
thought
We were talking
I
about
thought
how we
Kryra
see
took
Quid
aggro there.
make
And like
some
I
plays
thought
in
I
the
saw the
side
line hit Kryra, but
Great
maybe it was
use
just
of
always
the
on Call Me.
Realm Warp coming out of Call Me, who again we were talking about
Never
him
mind.
potentially
Did he
having a
just
redemption
right-click someone
series,
there?
right? teleporting both him and Kryra.
It looked like Kryra smited.
As the wave comes up, and even though
But yeah,
Call Me
started. Call Me started the dive the entire time.
It's kind of already over. I love how they synced that up with as the wave was crashing into turret, right? Really, really nicely done out of Disguised.
There's a Diodo just going to go ahead and pick up the Void Grubs. Unfortunately, not nearly the fun objective that it was to take in the previous season. Not nearly as powerful as it used to be, but still going to set them up. Maybe they can get some dividends from this if Morgan's able to maintain side lane control, or Quid can make some moves with the Weaver's Wall.
So this is the preseason power rankings to the end of Swiss standing. So we can see, you know, TL was the kind of de facto first place team. Is Sajed's gonna flash in?
Yeah, Yon is taking a whole lot of damage here, and now more follow-up onto Core JJ, who's got to try to get away. He's already used the clone. The rocket forces the flash there too, as Team Liquid's bottom lane duo is continuing to feel the pressure from Sajed and Lions.
Yeah, what a great showing thus far from this Disguised bot lane, really recognizing when they can apply pressure, and now
this bot lane is getting a little bit fried, bro. This is how it's supposed to go.
Sajed is up
this rough?
1K over his lane opponent in Yon.
Yeah, I would maybe just say that it's good that DSG have been pressuring the bot side on top of this as well.
On a pretty big spike here.
In ISO, I think it's really bad that it's going this poorly, but it's just, I think it's all of the additional pressure too.
Power rankings in the LCS, and DSG was aggregate last, right? So DSG ended up way overperforming, I think, people's expectations, especially because, talking to Ido, the whole team was supposed to be basically built around Kryra, who they didn't have at the start. They were playing with Kizno, who they had played 3 total scrims with, 3 games. That's the totality of his experience in LCS scrims, and they did great. So DSG just kind of has been this Cinderella story, and the question is, you know, has the clock struck 10? Like, is it over, or will you have that kind of continuation?
Lions? Burr?
Okay, Lions takes a
Lions,
bit of burst down here, but Jose Diodo can't really find any opportunities to make any big plays. And now, with Jose being in the bot lane, Kryra's going to take the opportunity, invade the Team Liquid jungle, steal away the blue buff.
Yeah, nice recognition of Kryra that he can.
Oh my god, Kryra is getting. Kryra is getting juice here.
Top side, but I love what you're saying about Disguised Azale, just because, like, they were scrimming with Kryra on a higher ping for most of it, and they still managed to take a series with Kizno up.
Ooh, nice seismic shove there from
Quid. Why press Ghost button?
Call Me down way lower on the health bar than he expected to be. He just catches him right there at the very edge of the turret range.
Yeah, I think Call Me just really wanted to stop that base and, you know, got a bit greedy for it. Was hoping he could step in, maybe make him cancel the base, avoid the seismic shove. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter too much.
That last part tripped him up a little bit.
Yeah. The best of intentions. The worst of execution. My League of Legends story.
No. Wait, that title actually goes pretty hard, not gonna lie.
Both junglers up here in the top side of the map now. Jose Diodo seeing if there's anything he can find, as Kryra is still ahead in the jungle. First items fully complete for both of these
This game is very much pray for a Morgan masterclass.
Wukong, so much burst once that Triforce is completed. This guy is very, very scary.
There is no guarantee he's going to do that.
Plenty of respect, considering Disguised is up 1,500 gold as a team, and the biggest leads are in the jungle and AD carry positions.
Yeah, and the 2 Triforces, hand in hand, they should be in a really good spot for any skirmishes that happen. And I just love how, honestly, Disguised have been playing with this bot lane thus far. Like, now they're moving them over towards that top side, try to get some damage there. Up.
Ooh, public execution. Call Me's in a lot of danger. Morgan goes after him, though, but the Realm Warp defensively keeps the mid laner for DSG alive.
Going to be able to stay alive there, and honestly a little bit surprised to see Sundered Sky as the first item coming through here for the Trundle. In pro play, I sanity checked myself, but 96% of the time that is the item purchased. So, you know, we'll see if he is going to go into like a later Triforce or something a bit more weird, but obviously Sundered Sky does have some sustain on it. Like, that's the main kind of advantage, is that if you are able to get autos out on a bunch of different people, you have some more healing. But Trundle just works so well with Triforce. Like, it's just so ingrained in the kit because the attack speed is really useful. Move speed core. Swing and a miss, tries to get a bit tricky.
But yeah, I completely agree with you. Triforce just feels like it's such a good Trundle item, so we'll see how much value Jose is
I'm gonna start Sundered Sky on Trundle. I mean,
top lane Scuttle Crab secured here by Team Liquid.
I don't know. I think Triforce is just the better stat stick. Sundered Sky still does like the funny ha-ha-he thing, but I don't know if I like it.
Maneuver out of a bad position that he might find himself in. So Jed just has to be a little respectful here.
Like, what's he gonna go after Sundered Sky then? Is it not gonna be Triforce? Because like Triforce is not really an item that you build second.
As now Jose Diodo has the opportunity to just take down this Rift Herald all on his lonesome. Lions gonna make his way towards the top lane tier 1. Reinforce call me there, make sure there's no danger. But Team Liquid just gonna turn their attention back over to the Herald. Where do we want to see the defense?
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I mean, I would have said to try to set up for Drake, but that's not gonna happen. Is they're trying to make a play on the call me on this top side, but that's not really gonna go anywhere. I mean, I still like the default is to always use it mid, right? Just because mid turret is the most important, like early tier 1 turret. I think that's pretty inarguable, and my like ideal setup is always right before Drake if you time it, right? And then you get mid prio, you move in, you immediately continue Drake stacking. But we did see the trade of objectives with DSG being able to get that Drake already, and then TL picking it up. Picking up the Herald. But I still always just default to mid because I just think it opens up the map so much for you. And we talk about this, again, Tlaw, easy access to side lanes. You want to be roaming around. You want to be able to apply map pressure wherever you are. Taking down the mid tier 1 always helps with that.
It has been a bit of a slow burn game, but I mean, DSG has a slight gold advantage. They have
Jed's in a lot of trouble though. The Arc of Ruin lines it up and they
Yeah,
knock it down.
doing this without Valk is kind of nuts.
Right after. They're looking for more, but
After the Palafox scandal, the cast have been casting been flaming much less.
Catching back up now, overtaking Sejed in terms of individual
I don't know, can't say. Haven't really noticed.
And
Kryra's about to die. Oh, he fucked up the W over the wall.
I
Also, I wouldn't really call that a scandal, but yeah.
Goes the enemy jungler as well. This has been such a massive swing for TL.
I mean, it's huge. They just went from down 800 gold to up 2.3k in the blink of an eye, and it feels like kind of just some unforced errors almost. I mean, Sejed had no Valk, right? Because he used it aggressively, but he did have his flash, didn't use it. Then Kryra tries to clone over the wall, clones into the wall, doesn't use his flash either. He dies too. And it does feel like they just kind of gave some freebies over to TL.
And that was your two most fed guys. Those were the guys that we were praising earlier as those big individual gold leads, nearly 1,000 gold ahead each. And then, yeah, the aggressive Valks, you love to see them when they result in those big bursty trades in lane. When
Small sell from Sajid, but it's all right. It's fine.
Control, but then he gets a little too aggressive. He gets a little overconfident. And Team Liquid are fast to punish. Now Sejed in danger once again.
Oh my god, okay. Now he's actively selling. Oh, good bubble. Wow, fantastic bubble.
But now DSG, where are they going to go from here?
Oh, Kryra gonna get that second knock up.
Castle and Morgan both going to arrive.
That tower just died to no one.
Bottom lane turret falls with the tier 1. Team Liquid is just going to lose core on that one.
Yeah, they do lose core, and it is kind of a trade of flashes at the end of the day because Jose flashed, core flashed. They got both the flashes off the bottom lane there from DSG, but as you called out, great bubble from Lions to be able to set that up as core was trying to get out to safety after the failed engage.
Yeah, it's nice to see, again, a little bit more redemption from Lions coming out here. They land the pillar onto Sejed. Sejed is able to get away, but then really, really nice. It looks like a double bubble because of the Nico clone.
It counts.
Yeah, Jose having to flash out of.
Yeah, I mean, this TL generally has been very.
But it's really nice to see Lions having a little bit of a redemption
mentally.
game because I actually agreed with something
in terms of like togetherness.
Azale, with him actually performing. It does occasionally. Occasionally we agree on.
I say a lot of stuff.
But I actually thought up until last week, he'd been performing pretty well. Like, he'd been really, really solid, especially in team fights. And he had a really, really, really rough series. So it's nice to see a little bit of a redemption game coming out of him thus far.
I mean, I think, not even just this year, I think it's his worst series in NA, period, that he's ever had. And it was definitely a bit of a shock because he had been performing really well for the team. Had looked like he was on point. Sejed, pretty far up.
Yeah,
oh,
he's in trouble again. The damage flows through, but there's not quite enough to kill him through the
barrier
here just yet. Sejed staying alive for now, still
fighting. He stayed alive for way too long there.
The wall there with his clone, has to use that Cyclone as well. Morgan's going to grab the tier 1 turret up there in the top lane at the same time. And Team Liquid continues to play aggressively around this Fed Yunara. Yon, 3-1-2, has 2 fully completed items.
A Fnatic versus Tlaw Fordorf would be hype.
Yeah, it's really nice to see.
Brother, do you want me to rip my eyes out of their sockets?
I think has been
Live
really
on
good,
stream?
With TL trying to chain all of this CC.
I'll do it.
And
Well, I
Yon,
will.
again, we've talked about how strong he can be on this Yunara, was put down.
Bring back
early
Yuji.
by
No, you don't
Disguised
mean that.
bot lane, but it's really coming back, and now every time DSG try to make, especially Sajed, some sort of aggressive move, TL has been on it.
Hazel say Trinity kills there.
Move speed here for Jose. He went 3 points Q into 5 points W, so additional move speed. Then he has a dead man. He's just so fast.
Okay, Castle trying to frontline here as Morgan flies into the back.
I think, did Castle mean to ult backwards? I don't think he, maybe he did. I don't know.
I
feel like he wanted to just keep going and CC the Nico.
Obviously the tankier one, as Morgan trying to wrap around, see if he can get some pressure onto Disguise. Remember, this is sole point if DSG can secure the Drake. Slam not going to do a whole lot. A nice follow-up seismic shove coming out from Quid, forces Castle to flash away. Dragon down to about 40% HP. DSG still looking to take the objective as Kryra has to force Morgan back away. Team Liquid carries under a little bit of pressure. Castle about to die. Jose Diodo going to grab the kill on that one as Lions is burning so very low, but he's not quite dead here yet. Castle still trying to make a little bit more space.
Yeah, fight's too split.
They will take the Drake and
they got split on the banana bush, and then
all throughout that team fight, you could
Yon is just able to kind of free hit with Quid.
They
didn't even have to flash
either.
either.
To blow so many flashes off of DSG. DSG, as soon as it seemed like one member saw an angle, they ended up having to back off because all of the damage coming out of TL.
And it kind of all came down to Castle getting caught on that top side. He tried to go in, gets
like, look,
gets seismic shoved in. He's incredibly
Kryra
low.
just goes too far down,
and
then Castle just stays chunked forever.
Morgan is threatening here. The battle lines completely break for DSG. Lions is kind of caught awkwardly, just trying to run away in the middle of the fight. Sajed is by himself while Kryra was trying to duel Morgan. Everyone kind of seemed like they had a bit of a different idea, whereas TL, they had this early trade of health, and you think, okay, well, surely Morgan's going to be less useful, but he threatens on the flank after pushing out the bot wave. The other core 4 of TL stayed together, where DSG got kind of
in what manner is TL about to throw is the question.
That cost them,
Yo, come on now.
Dragon.
Yeah, and going
Come
into
on
this,
now.
the question was going to be for TL.
Be nice now.
How well coordinated are they thus far? If we've seen some really, really nice, like little marks of play from them that I think make them look a little bit more unified going in than some of their previous outings.
Liquid is lurking, and Calmy is finding himself in a very compromised position. Weaver's Wall gonna chase after him. Seismic shove knocks him out of the Realm Warp, and there is no way home for the Rise now. Yon on a killing spree. Team Liquid picks the enemy mid laner. He'll be dead for the next 45 seconds, but what's the follow-up move from there? Yon goes forward, still has the ulti with the Arc of Ruin to try to force DSG away from the tier 1 turret. Now Castle's gonna be the target. That Scion is not as tanky as they'd want him to be. Morgan just cuts him down. Jose Diodo makes it so easy with the subjugate.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go straight to Baron, but instead they just make a collapse on mid lane, and they do look for a hard engage. And we saw Morgan fully committing to that. He even looked for a flash ult on the Nami, which did get flashed, so that was kind of wasted. But again, Castle goes down. Now they will return and at least threaten the Baron, but of course we know it is going to be a bait.
Yeah.
That seismic shove would have hit Kryra. That could have been the play, or maybe they'll get it anyway. Kryra down to 20% HP, tries to use the cyclone to get away from it, but Core JJ with a beautiful
Kryra thought he was dead, and I don't know if he was actually dead there. I think he might have been okay.
There. Now with the jungler dead for the next 40 seconds, Team Liquid seriously looking at that Baron pit.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, again, the chain CC coming out of this TL comp. They're going to knock down at least the scuttle there, get full
it looks
over the entire
Jova,
top side of the map here.
And I really love the interactions they actually used to catch Kryra. So this is one of these things that you don't always think about. So the seismic shove missed.
It looks very Jova right now.
What Jose did is he placed his pillar directly onto the Wukong to bump him into the unraveled earth. So he gets stunned by the Tlaw E, even though the seismic shove missed. Just used that little boop, knocks him into the rocks. He gets stunned up. They chase him down. They knock him down. So that is very well played by TL, utilizing that trundle and getting a big advantage.
And now the map is completely dark for Disguised on this top side.
Can we get RE4 if it's a 3-0?
TL kind of cleaning up camps, potentially looking for more picks, pushing out.
I don't think it's going to be a 3-0, but yeah, if it ends up being a 3-0, we can.
Yep, that was really, really close there for Kryra, as Morgan now could find himself in a bit of a tough spot. Jet with the damage.
Oh my god, what are we doing?
Chasing after the Team Liquid top laner.
What are we doing?
Don't go any further. They're afraid of the Team Liquid counterattack.
Well, and Castle was afraid of that wall because he ulted straight into it. So who put that wall there? Who decided it was going to be Mountain Rift? That's some crazy TL bias from the game designer.
From the terrain itself.
From the terrain,
The terrain is rooting for Team Liquid. There also could have potentially, if TL wanted to go for it, been a really dangerous wraparound there too. But no, they're kind of content to keep baiting out with Fog of War on this top side.
And this just feels like classic TL with a lead. Make the map very dark for your opponents. Lurk around in the jungle. Try to find a couple of picks to then continue making your big plays after that. Castle's going to be the one who has to face check things here. But man, this map is so scary. Fog of War everywhere. Lions is just going to drop. Yon gets the last auto. That's a free kill for the Unara. As now Corey gets a 3-man pop blossom. Kryra tries to save himself. But Morgan takes him out. Castle's in the middle of everybody.
It's a horror.
Morgan can fall back before he ends up having to give his own life. Now Castle gets knocked down. Enemy jungle, enemy support.
Just go to the next game, man.
Picture, and Team Liquid's heading to Baron.
Just like you said, the way they
just
play
go
with
to the
Fog
next
of War,
game.
I love whenever you see Core waiting in the bush because you know he sees the
Yeah, that was a
play.
cool blast
He's
cone use.
looking for the angle. Really, really.
They better
nice
highlight
stuff
that in
coming out of his
the
Nico
replay. I don't
once
think they
again.
even caught it.
Finds a great engage. I mean, it's Castle walking forward, but he's just not really that threatening. He's not really that tanky. No one is there with him, so he steps up, and Jose just starts slapping him. And again, Lions is kind of on the wrong spot. He was separated from the team. The team seems to be a bit disjointed on how they want to approach these fights, so he just gets chased down by Yon for free. Core finds this big pop blossom, and that feels like now the wheels have fully fallen off at this point.
Yeah, as we see them looking for Castle here, and the big thing that I want to call out again is just Core waiting here. You know he wants that engage to go in immediately.
He R-autoed, so he pop blossoms in the air. So it actually was perfectly timed. I thought that's what he might have done, but I didn't
W
know
observers
that
as
even
well,
though, like,
giving
the
us a little bit of
animation goes
T-Tor
off
there. That was
early,
cool.
It actually stuns where you land, it looked like. So that was super well timed by Core. Well played.
Deep breaths, guys. Use your eyes.
Deep breaths. Got to stay calm. Got to get all the way to the Nexus. Like you were talking about, Azale, Core JJ earlier mentioning, yeah, it's not the start to the season that we wanted, but our goal is still achievable. We've just got to get there. Even this game started off a little bit rough. Disguised had a 1,500 gold lead after the early game, right? You had big advantages for Kryra and Sajed, but then Team Liquid were able to maintain their composure. They found windows where they could punish their opponent's mistakes, and then as soon as they got those punishes, they've been snowballing it ever since.
Yeah, they've had complete Drake control ever since as well, which has been really huge for them. And now Yon is up 2K over his lead, and I think they're playing around his aggression so well with the insane amount of CC as Quick goes in.
Yeah, they're going in for the Weavers. Wall, and immediately Lions is caught. Yon finds the Arc of Ruin there onto Kryra. They want to get a second kill here if they can, but Kryra gets away for now. Calmy going to reinforce him. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane, Yon looking at Sajed. Kryra wants to go in after the Team Liquid 80 carry, but Core JJ is there on the defense. Yon staying alive for now. Castle doesn't have the damage. Calmy trying to get something, as at least Quid will fall.
The flash was
Yon
Unara.
right next to him, but Calmy loses his life in the process. Morgan gets the killing spree there onto Sajed, and it's only Castle still standing on DSG. Beautiful use of the public execution to buffer through the decimating smash. Morgan guarantees the ace, and Team Liquid's looking for the end of the game.
Mbessa does not care about the towers at all, as Core is even going to be able to survive. Objective bounties are available soon. That's the cope. We're going for some bounties here.
You might need them.
Just get some of these shutdowns, pick up some towers, easy kill on Morgan for 1K, you know?
Well, the game's not over at least. It's still going. DSG's still in there, but man, 10,000 gold difference. Team Liquid still with the Baron for another 10 seconds. The power play up to almost 3,500. This is looking grim.
And I always just feel like when you have the luxury items coming through, like Zonia's, Seekers, GA, each one of those is one nail in the coffin, right? Yep. And that gets so difficult because when you're behind, you're always hoping for a catch out. You're always hoping for a one shot that can maybe that can maybe even out the game. But when everyone has their tools available to keep themselves alive, it gets so hard. Yon is really your only reasonable target, but trying to fight through a Trundle, through the Pop Blossom, through the Mbessa, to be able to get in on him is just almost impossible. And
they were already having issues with that going in, like the fight that led to the base break was exactly that, right? Like Kryra goes in on the Wukong, tries to get a pick onto someone, and then is immediately CC'd by the Nico. So they were already having issues with that, and now everyone has a lot more survivability.
Liquid in the enemy
It
blue
is
side
likely
jungle,
GG.
looking to push through bottom lane now. Remember, the mid lane inhibitor is already destroyed, so TL is going to try to find opportunities to pressure here in the side lanes. You can see the wave pushing out top,
I think
but
it's just
nobody's
very
on
hard to
split
play.
push duty just yet. Kryra is deep behind enemy lines. We're going for the long con here. DSG knows they have to get a pretty insane engage to have any sort of a chance at all in a competitive fight, and Kryra's the one looking to set up for that.
I mean, the real problem is even if he finds like a 5-man Cyclone, the damage dealers have to be there too. He's only got 2 items. He's not going to be able to do it at this point.
Okay, Quid pops his Ghost. Not going to find a whole lot of efficacy for that here just yet. Jose the Odo getting juggled around a little bit. Couple of knockups there as the Subjugate is used. Jose wants to make sure he doesn't just get randomly picked off here. So Trundle ulti off the table for a little while, but TL's not in any real danger. They continue to move around as a 5-man unit. Nobody's going to be
It's a very slow closeout though. TL, you can tell they're nervous.
And they'll just get out of the danger zone.
Yeah,
Even
I
from
mean,
the comms, you
it
can
does
tell they're
soften
nervous.
over the pressure they were applying as, nope, they're going in for another play.
Yep, there it is. Pop Blossom seals Call Me's fate. Quid's
Well,
going to be the one taking
sure.
the kill on that as TL.
I look down and
after
somehow
picking off the rise,
that guy is
looks a
dying
little
in the
bit
middle of the
more.
lane.
Morgan does not land the public execution that time, but it's a 5v4. Castle's in the bottom lane trying
Bloody
to clear
hell.
out the minions, but that top wave that I mentioned earlier is just about pushed up exactly where Team Liquid wants it. They can try to force their way through the top lane tier 3 turret next.
Morgan is mid. He's pushing that wave up. The supers are going to be on the Nexus towers here pretty quickly, so DSG has to respond to that, and that is going to mean that the top lane turret is going to be completely exposed. TL, though, decide, you know what, we don't need to push any further. Dragon is in 25. Yep. Let's reset. Let's just continue stacking towards Soul. They clearly, based on those comms from Jan, don't want to take any risks. I think this is something that they realize, hey, we've thrown from these kind of situations. Let's stay composed. Let's take the 100% win rate strategy. Let's just make it safe.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a Team Liquid squad, a team that throughout their history, this has never been a team that's like, yeah, okay, let's just try our best, guys, right? Like, TL has always been an org that is very locked in. They want to win trophies. They want to be competitive. They want to go international. And now that you're on your last life, now that you've barely qualified to the bracket stage, having to play in that tiebreaker match against Dig, that it looked like that one was even dicey for a little while. They're really trying to minimize those mistakes as the third
We all agree
trade
Morgan is
for
a big
them
fraud.
is about to fall. Should just be able to pick that
Yo,
up easy
let
peasy.
Morgan
Now,
live,
Baron's
man.
alive here too, and DSG
He's just like a
trying to position in a way that they might be
slightly
able to
below
contest.
middle of the pack LCK top laner trying to make it in the LCS.
It's not looking great as that pillar lands onto Castle. And we have the TP coming in from Morgan. He might be looking for a wraparound flank here.
Uh-oh.
Is on Sajed,
Is he all the way up?
Corky. If they manage to get the
Is
pincer
he all the
attack
way up,
on
or is he going all the way
AD
to the
carry,
top?
it's over
Oh, we're
before it
zooming
even
all the way out.
begins. Kryra takes a little bit of poke there from Core JJ. Sajed is about to die. One more auto attack would have finished him off.
Well,
Strong
there's
has the
Morgan.
flashback away now, and Morgan has found that pincer attack. The Corky and the Wukong are both already out of the picture. Core JJ staying alive there with the Seeker's arm guard as Call Me just barely has enough damage to finish him off. Meanwhile, Jan gets the kill on Castle and now has to get away from the dead Scion. The Arc of Judgment is enough to slow down the dead body. So the only one
What
they
a slaughter.
lose is Core JJ, and it's an ace for TL.
I love how Jan was the one telling them to chill out in comms. We saw
What an absolute
from
slaughter.
the FBI's comms what happens when the ADC is baiting out stuff. Their really beautiful coordination with the Morgan flank coming around on the Mbessa.
And that's going to be all it takes. Team Liquid, it was a bit of a rocky start, but then they turned it around in the mid-game.
Slaughter. All right.
They didn't take excessive risks.
We
They
are
made
gonna run
their way to
ads.
the Nexus,
We're gonna run
and
ads.
They're going to go up 1,
The inhib
2,
respawn.
0. Yeah, I think the inhib
respawn. It's not over.
I think it still should be
How funny
over.
is that?
Okay, there we go. Now they're going to go up 1-0 here in the series.
Everyone got
We
pregged.
just tapped out. I saw that Nexus. The health bar disappeared. I've been in that game before.
All right.
But they do get the win at the
I'll
end
see you
of the day.
2.5
Great
minutes.
performance here from TL.
Core JJ
They
didn't
saw
retire.
23-8.
There was maybe
They
a split
started
where
down a
also
little
he
bit,
took
but
off
they
maybe
were
at some
very
point, but I'm
composed.
not sure about that.
They punished DSG on that third dragon fight in particular, really navigated that well. And it was a swing of nearly 3,000 gold within, what, a minute and a half? And it felt like after that, it was TL's.
All right, Lounge, let us know what you're thinking.
Is TL back, Kobe? Is
TL's back, baby.
Good TL.
Scrimbucks are back. What's up, Jamada? First game, a stomp by the looks of it. Yeah, ended up being so. DSG just were really disjointed today so far. Hopefully they get their stuff together. They've been really fun so far this split.
Moment at the beginning of this game, if you remember back to the beginning of the game, DSG was actually in a good spot, Raz. They were winning.
Yes.
And let's take a look at how.
And again, just a reminder, anyone who's on the YouTube side would really appreciate if you leave a like today
Call Me pushes the
on
mid-wave. So getting
on the YouTube stream.
really
I
quickly when you
need
have Rise
to
versus Leah
assess
is huge. They then use
how the
mid-tempo
engagement
to
works
grab
when
the
it comes to
back
like
end.
dealing with the
Then he's going to go
VODs.
back, get it again. During this reset timer for Quid is where the game really blows open. Look at
So if
this.
you could do that,
Right
I would
now, they're
appreciate it.
behind
Was it
in
draft gap?
gold, but they go for the play. They got
Yeah,
second
draft gap was a
with
big
the
deal.
realm warp. Call Me is doing
Where's Spawn
so
and the
much
coach
for
come?
them
I think
as
Spawn
far
might be
as
back
tempo
home in
goes.
Australia. It's
It earned
possible.
them a dragon. It earns them the bottom lane dive here, and this is where
It's
they
possible.
get a huge benefit for DSG. They've got the good gold lead.
He is?
The
Well, there
Jet
you go.
down here, you see that
There's your
Corki,
answer. He's back home in
super
Australia.
fed, is in a very, very good spot, and we'll see what happens to the Corki after that, though. Sajed. So you want to play around your fed Corki, right? Trinity Force, plus he's got his Manamune, so Corki's looking good. Nami's going to go for a reset. Nami's going to come join in mid lane, as is Kryra. Let's pause, and this was a big moment because with Fog of War, from Sajed's point of view here, why does he Valk in right now? He has his Nami coming down. He wants to play. He's super fed, so he wants to go for this chunk. He Valks in is the key moment that TL recognized, and they're going to turn the whole game around. He Valked in, so you know what? Yawn. He
It's that
goes in
next
with the
extra
ult,
right
dash
click there
forward,
that really
hits
gets
him
them
with the slow,
killed.
into the Trundle pillar.
Hello, Teddy.
And they get the big shutdown. Not only is that shutdown on the Corki, it is also going into the hands of Yawn, who we highlighted at the beginning of the day. This core that Team Liquid really rebuilt their roster around, got a bunch of money there, and then Team Liquid are able to win a whole bunch of fights afterwards and get a bunch of picks.
Yeah.
So we got a double whammy with the Pagoda moments. So guys, if you see a Pagoda moment or a Pog moment worthy play, then just spam that chat.
And also, in terms of player of the game, we have a tie.
we have a tie?
So in
Who
the
breaks the
instance of a
tie?
tie, the chat vote actually wins. So the tie is between. I need to know who the tie is between.
That's
I voted for Morgan.
Well, I voted Quid. So that's a Quid. Quid is one of them.
1 second, Jones.
Core and Quid.
My vote was a Ralph Nader vote. It doesn't matter.
That threw us both into the.
Yeah, I
threw
threw
that
it
out?
in the abyss, but please spam chat to see who the actual player of the game is. I had one more clip while chat votes on this that I wanted to show. And this is why I actually think it's not necessarily Scrimbucks paying off for Team Liquid. They made some nice plays around the map that allowed them to get an advantage in this game. So, like, this is an instance where they pushed mid, and they just start attacking top lane, but they use it to get a sequence of picks. So they pick off Call Me, and rather than just doing a 5v4 Baron flip, they then use the fog, collapse on castle, get another kill. Then again, they just use the fog, wait for them to show up, get another kill. So they just really organically extended their gold lead past just the early game. That was just one quick sequence that they had that makes me more confident for this team, because it's not like they just win every lane by 3,000 gold and therefore win the game. These are the moves that they were failing on last week. And we do
I gotta hang
have
that
the
laundry
player of
BLB.
the game.
Yeah, all good,
What is
beast.
it? Who
hope.
is it?
Oh shoot,
I'm
I
interested.
jumped the gun.
Okay.
What a wonderful day for rain.
I'm gonna make one critique towards DSG, because like the one
Hush,
concern
hush
for me
now.
was that Scion pick on 4 pick that we got to see from DSG side. It was like, well, they already saw the Mbessa. The Mbessa was already picked. Trundle was open. Trundle was like jungle was last pick, so you knew that you were gonna get countered with both the Trundle jungle and the Mbessa that was already picked. So I just did not like the Scion in that moment. And I think you could probably just like pick the Renekton or Jace or whoever you really wanted Castle to play on 3rd pick. So I felt like from the drafting perspective, especially with how impressed we were of DSG's draft, like up until this point, that was a concern. That
Okay, keep voting between Core JJ and Quid to break the
please.
tie.
I do want to focus on the thing that you were talking about, though, and from the Team Liquid perspective, what they did improve on. Their team fighting, their coordination was much, much better, and they recognized and punished mistakes that their opponents showed. You know, like we just saw. In
This is a best of
multiple
5,
the
indeed it is.
replays. So I think it bodes very well for this team. As far as the results for the poll, though, and you being
It's not voting well.
being quite antsy, it's not voting well. We could just pull up chat.
Yeah.
1 second, I'll bring it.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it.
Pull
Let's
up
check
the
it out.
chat.
I'm interested who people are thinking.
Who is your player of the game? We've got Core and Quid.
We'll make some arguments for it, because I said Morgan, because I thought his side lane pressure was incredible. Core did his Nico engages to catch Sajed out multiple times. Or do you think it was Quid and his ability to roam around the map?
Yeah, I mean, Quid.
I'm seeing a lot of Core JJ in the chat.
One of the big things was the plays that I showed were some positive call me, plays at the very beginning where he actually had pressure and he was getting a lot of the positive plays to get DSG in the lead. So I think I would tie break for Core.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are also just voting Jose Arredondo, even though it's just a tie between the two players. As a reminder. Yeah, you're also...
Okay, Core JJ smashed it.
Yeah, Core JJ just completely took it.
Okay, congratulations to Core JJ.
Yeah.
4th player of the game. Very well done, Mr.
Well done,
Core
chat.
JJ.
Well done, chat.
We're going to see if Team Liquid can continue beating DSG in 2 of the next 4 games, because that's what they need to move on to the next round.
True.
Game 2's up after the break.
Looks like we've got a new addition on the Rift here today. Emily, is the Telluride just the obvious pick?
Well, Flowers, we're looking at the turbo hybrid powertrain. That's already a problem.
Okay. We listen to some music. As like we've learned now, the ads mute us. Rating of the fall off. Oh my god, I've still not listened to the fall off, bro. I've completely forgotten. I've just had so much like random shit, and then when I have time off, when I'm not like streaming lately, I'm gonna be honest, I've been decomposing, bro. I've legit just been decomposing. Like, I'm not doing anything. I need to make some time. I need to like manage my downtime better. Like, I'm managing my stream time really well. I mean, actually, I'm perhaps doing it a bit too well. Like, I'm streaming way too much, to be honest. For like, well, I shouldn't say I'm streaming too much. Let's just say I'm putting in more hours than maybe I should be. But I'm also enjoying it, so... There's also that. You know, like, it's just, I'm in a weird spot. I'm in a weird spot. Again, I mean, for the regulars, I've been quite open about what I need to be doing. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm being burned out, so there's that. And also, to be honest, like, I don't know, I don't know if this is like this is probably a pretty destructive mindset to have, but I don't feel like in my position I can ever complain about burnout. Like, I have never really had like, I don't know, I think the only time I've ever been close to burnout was 2021. I was working like 4 broadcasts. I was on the UKLC, NLC, LEC that split I think twice, and the LPL or something like this. Yo, why do we have an NLC emote with a troll face in it? When did we get that? When did we get that? That's not stupid as fuck, I think. A few days ago? Oh. Cuz on my OBS extension for chat, the ads. On my OBS extension for chat, I do not see when emotes are added, and not every emote comes up when people type 7TV stuff. But the multi-chat is really good for it. The multi-chat is really good. Multi-chat, like, always picks it up. It's a good one, though. Yeah, it's solid.
Hey guys,
Says being JDG Tuesday, one would like to hope.
And I'm going to give you guys some good tips for Ezreal. The thing about Ezreal is, I think it's very good to take lethal tempo on Ezreal these days, especially in solo queue, where you can just stat check the enemy opponent. As soon as the minions spawn, and you get to lane, so let's say the enemy champions are here and here, you really just want to be stacking your Q. So your Q is on a 5-second cooldown, but if you land it, it'll be like on a 4.5 second, like so, and then your attack speed goes up. So right now it's already 0.90, and then around this timing, when you have 4 stacks, you really want to be fighting here. And then, let's say you land the last Q as well, right? At this point, you're going to have at least like 1.20 like attack speed. And it's gonna be completely OP if you just fight. Not many people will know, and they'll just probably fight you, and you'll probably just end up winning because of the attack speed steroid you have.
I actually love hearing from the pros when we get to see these little tips and tricks things for stuff you would never think about, because I would never think about lethal tempo on Ezreal. I barely know how to play Ezreal at all, so that's very helpful.
But now if you have to.
Now if I have to, I'm locked in. Thanks, Jan.
You'll stack lethal tempo and then lose.
Yeah, I probably still will lose, because the problem is you still got to hit the cues.
Exactly.
That's my first big hurdle. But Team Liquid have cleared their first big hurdle in this series. They won the first game, and I think that if you're disguised heading into this second one, when you look back and say, okay, where did it go wrong? The answer is the mid lane play. Sajed Valks forward. He ends up getting punished. Team Liquid are immediately there.
Okay,
for
here we
the
go.
consequences of that, and then Kryra dies right after. I feel like that was the point where after that, they never really had a real shot.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, the early game was fantastic for them, right? They had this almost 1K gold lead. They had the first 2 dragons. Felt like everything was going well for them, but games swing very, very quickly these days, especially with bounties and all of the plate gold that you can pick up off of key kills. So it is tough. You got to be staying locked in. I heard Jan saying that even when they were up massive amount of gold, still had to lock in.
Okay, Pantheon.
All right, Disguise have selected last pick for this second champ select. That means
Orianna.
Team Liquid got to choose the blue side for themselves.
Cool.
They'll ban out the Azir, the Akali, and the Pantheon. Meanwhile, DSG taking Jarvan, Varus, and Orianna off the table.
This means
What's
that
the
we
goat
have
pizza?
a
I like
standard
meat
draft,
feast
as in
pizzas.
my brain isn't going to be trying
To be honest.
to warp its way around. Like,
you don't have the bugs in there.
Those
trying
are
to
my
figure out, like, what's
favorites.
going on. That's what it feels like. There's bugs in your brain when it doesn't have the same structure it's had for
Vi.
the last decade.
as we see the buy coming out for Jose,
Okay.
I've liked Jose on these kind of
Rumble is
playmakers
also
where he
up.
can link up to his lanes. We'll see what
Rumble
they want
is
to
up, by
partner
the
with
way.
it. I think her most eager kind of mid lane duo partner there.
Well, these guys are on
has
live
already been
patch, so
taken off the
Rumble's
board,
technically
and
nerfed,
Tatia,
but I don't
as we see the Aurora
know how
locked
weak
in,
it really
on
is.
the
Aurora's
side
in
of
Zao, though.
DSG.
Very good.
I really like the Aurora here, especially for DSG, because both Castle and Colony can play it, right? So being able to keep that flexible is quite nice.
Yep.
Yo, what's good, bro?
You know, sometimes on a team,
I'm
it's
doing
like,
good,
yeah,
man.
it's a flex, but this
Game
guy's
2
gonna
here.
play, let's be real.
Really a
Enjoying the
flex,
series
right?
so far.
Well,
Done a lot of League of Legends watching today. LEC into
So two
LCS.
scrappy junglers here in this one. Could also gank
Aurora
very
counters
effectively
Rumble.
early.
Yeah,
Ari
sure.
picked
They
in
could be trying to
next
bait.
Vi.
Yeah, and this
Bait a
isn't
Rumble pick.
necessarily something we've seen a ton in LCS, but the Vi
So they can just put
Ahri
Castle on it.
combo has been seen in other leagues. Specifically, I'm thinking mostly of LPL and LCK.
I really
they
dislike
like this,
Ahri,
and
but
I kind of
it's also
targeted
buffed on this
Squid
patch
when
too.
I saw the Ahri buffs coming through and being like, I'd really like to see him.
they're gonna
bring
fall
this
for it. I
out
mean, they
and
can also
play
go
this, so we're
Galio
gonna
here
be able
too,
to see
if
that
they
Vi
want.
Ahri combo coming out of Quid and
It's
Jose
not like
together.
AP top
Yeah, we
jungle
got to see
here,
Colby
obviously,
play
but
Ahri last week. It
like
did not work well for them at all. And that's
Ahri does really well into both of these on sides.
I was trying to avoid
Yeah, there's the Galio.
mentioning that specific
Good stuff.
Ahri
Good, I
outing
like that.
in the LCS.
And they can go either
It's really
iteration
good
here. That's what I
because
like.
think
Like
they're
you can
doing
go
the
Galio
Galio
mid,
Rumble
you can go
lanes, and
Galio
those are
top.
great matchups.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed the stat that popped up when Rumble was locked in. Rumble is 1-9 in the LCS. This champion has been a total stinker so far this split. And I think a big reason is because you have stuff like Galio that you can pick into it that's just so effective.
Yeah, I kind of feel like people are looking at it and it's been nerfed a number of times over the last couple of months, and it keeps getting nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, but people are still playing because it's comfort. And it kind of feels like one of these picks, kind of similar to Renekton. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Where you get this slight CS advantage in lane, but then your counterpart is just more useful.
Yeah.
And we're also seeing too many teams where they're drafting Rumble with little to no setup. And I think that is, to me, like just such a cardinal sin. It is very difficult to get consistent equalizers if you don't have any AoE CC. You have the Vial right now, like that's something at least, but to me it's like, it's just a different pick when you have a Rel on your team or a Nautilus on your team versus when you're playing with like a Karma bot. It's just not the same at all.
Exactly. The Karma bot will not be available, unfortunately, because
Thank
DSG are taken out of it. Look, Enchanters are back, Azale. You're going to have to deal. But I like the Ashe being taken off the table as well. I think Ashe Seraphine still in the right situations. Just an insane
situations
lane.
being everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty strong.
They can run rampant. I'm like still kind of enjoying the return of Enchanters, to be honest. I'll get sick of it eventually, but
Lane
like
Swap
right
Enjoyer
now.
also likes Enchanters. It checks out.
Yes, very
Her
much.
favorite worlds was the art and censor meta.
No,
Interesting.
no, it's not, because I have WE trauma from that. As we see the Kaisa locked in for Sajed, we talked about how much he enjoys playing that pick. I think even in their loss, their first game we ever saw with him on the LCS stage, he still performed super, super well with that.
Yep, they're just slamming it. Kalista Renata, as soon as I saw the Kalista get hovered, you to think about TL's bot lane, you think about lane dominance, and to me, as soon as you're hovering the Kalista, that is the prime pairing. Again, they are kind of lacking some CC here. You know, you do have the Vi for a lockdown. You do have the hostile takeover, which can be really, really good against some of the short-range champions over on this side. So can be really powerful. But really, it's just the Vi kind of as that go button. And on the other side, you are going to be throwing in the Xin. We'll see what the last pick is going to be. Lions Bard is going to maybe be a bit of a jump scare for some people after last week.
All right. He's got a lot to redeem.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I do think his Nami game in game 1, there were some mistakes, but it was, you know, better than definitely his last outing. The Bard, I think, was the game that everyone was kind of looking at being like, okay, he's having a really, really rough series. So we'll see if this can be kind of a similar redemption for him.
I will say, you know, Bard is a pretty solid
Okay,
laner, so
sorry
like
about that, I'm back. And guess what? I'm back to press the advertisement button. See you in 30 seconds.
But when I think about Bard in really winning situations,
See you in
I
30
think about
seconds.
carries with low mobility that are easy to ult.
I appreciate your
don't
insight on
really
Lost
see
Frisian
that
Nation show.
as
Yo,
being Kalista and
appreciate that,
Ahri,
beast.
Right? You know, Kalista's hopping nonstop.
Appreciate
and
that.
Ahri has dashes on the ult and the move speed on the W. So to me, I'm a little bit concerned about the efficacy of the Bard ults. So we'll see if he can prove me wrong.
Yeah, and I do, one other pick that I do want to point out, because they did slam it so quickly, is I do like the Renata against a lot of what DSG are going to be trying to do, right? Like kind of stymieing any sort of engage or re-engage they're going to be making in team fights. If you can sync that up with like a really fat rumble equalizer across the team, that could end up looking really, really good for TL.
All right, let's do it. Game number 2. DSG showed promise in the early game of game number 1. We'll see if they can repeat that and get it all the way across the finish line here in this one. I think in particular, talking about the bottom lanes, talking about Yawn and Core wanting to play for lane dominance. Remember, it was Sajed and Lions that were constantly getting very good trades on them in the previous game. The Corki aggro was very strong. It ultimately ended up being their Achilles heel at the
Love to see
same
all of
time,
LEC playoffs be best
but
of fives.
this
Well,
bottom lane
unfortunately, we had to do
2v2
the
should be pretty fun to watch.
best of one
It's
nonsense.
going to be a lot of fun as we see these two trading pretty heavily. Once one starts
But
trading,
perhaps
you kinda
one
have to
day.
keep trading the autos back and forth. You don't want to give up any sort of disadvantage. And the minions spawn so early that these level 1 trades are way more impactful, right? Because you can't just take a quick base. They're both just going to be starting down a potion and about at half HP.
Yeah, and both of their junglers are starting on the top side. We'll see if... I keep hoping for this. It's even less likely now in the current meta to see someone go for like any sort of cheeky level 2 gank. I don't think the health missing for either mid laner is going to be the difference maker here. But it is always a possibility that I like to call out when stuff like this happens.
It absolutely is. Also want to talk a little bit about playoff experience between the two teams. Core, no surprise there, is going to be absolutely dominating the field as far as the experience.
Wow, Core's played more playoffs games than all of DSG combined.
All down the way until Lions. That was their first playoff series. For 4
Can
out
you
of the
name
5
one
members
hockey
for
team?
DSG. They had
No.
never played a playoff game, you know, before.
Not even
last
remotely,
week. So
bro.
for so many of these guys, they now at least have one.
I couldn't even
They have
think
a little
about
bit
it.
of stability. Even the people that are like, oh yeah, Morgan doesn't have that much experience, but he still has more than the 4 out of the 5 combined,
Put
right?
together, yeah.
So TL definitely expected
I wouldn't even know where to. I wouldn't even know where to start.
That big experience advantage.
Yeah, especially coming out of... I love talking about kind of what Core has meant for this team. We saw him have an absolutely stellar game 1, but listening to players like Quid and Jose Deodo kind of coming onto the team and talking about how much Core means has been really great to listen to.
And I'm glad you bring up Quid and Jose Deodo, because Quid was giving Jose a hard time about the start of last game.
I'm not panicking. I'm just telling the facts. I charge my mouse like once a week. Me too. But this one was at 0. Yeah, you panic. You charge to 51% and you randomly panic. Oh, my mouse is 20%. My mouse is 20%. No, wait. I'll explain it. The champion select went off and I saw 1 second 22. I was like, ah, shit. You're nervous, man. No, I wasn't.
I love it, man. Jose Diodo not charging the mouse up enough. We'll see how much charge he's got on this one because, hey, his team at least has total control over the bottom lane. Kalista Renata, if you're a jungler and you see that as your bot lane, you should know that you will have control over bottom side grabs.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a little bit of a different look this time coming out of TL bot lane. We've talked about how they want to play through having powerful 2v2s. We've talked already about how strong Yon was last year and having a little bit comparatively of a down
Spawn?
split to start
Spawn is
split
this
one.
week. I think he's remote. I don't know how long he's going to be remote for. I just know he's back with his family.
Back, and we see him headed.
But he was here for the start of the split.
His camps again on the top side.
Yeah, I mean, Sajed obviously had to take a pretty early base here. Does get back, gets the
Cool, we
call,
missed
but at
everything
least
there.
now he's back to full health. He has a potion. He is in base, and we'll see if they can kind of stabilize and keep this lane in this current state for a while.
Excuse me.
Because Jan hasn't been able to get back to base.
Gentlemen,
He's been
I need a
cold,
coffee.
So right now, things are about as good as they're going to get for a while for that bot lane 2v2 on the side of TSG.
Can't really wait too much longer either. But I don't want to walk off to make a coffee now mid-game.
Handshake for the Crabs. Obviously, if you're in Kryra's position, you know that
What's the
you're
hour
not
in Australia?
going to be able to contest against the
It's
Kalista
like
Renata that
10
are
in the
hard
morning.
slamming the lane for that Crabs.
Or
You
maybe a
just
little
walk up
bit
to the top side.
later
Checking
in the
in
day.
on Morgan versus Castle. Again, the Rumble with a 10% win rate so far in this early play in LCS 2026. Morgan looking to double Rumble's wins after this one.
Quid is using
we'll
that
see if
skin.
he can
Suddenly
do
I'm
it.
locked in.
Initially, the early push in that lane was going over to the
I see.
Galio.
Quid, I know what
as
kind of man
expected,
you are.
but he should be able to at least push this wave in on the top side. And we did see
Charm flash.
Flash for flash here in mid lane as Quid wants to go for the charm. Try to catch Call Me off guard, but Call Me has the fast reaction and stays safe.
Yeah, and that was set up by the earlier charm he landed, being able to get so much health off of Call Me earlier on. I really like him being able to go for that. And now we'll see if either
but most people
jungler
live on
wants
the
to
East
take advantage
Coast.
of the fact that we have two flashless mid laners now in this lane, in this game.
I mean, especially I think when you get level 6 for Vi, that
Yeah.
is kind of that
The majority
easy
of it is
combo
in
that
the
you're
East
gonna be able to
Coast.
look towards. That being said, Aurora is pretty tough to knock down. You have the invisibility, you have your ult where you can kind of bounce back and forth, and sometimes put Vi, who is ulting into a pretty bad spot. But I would expect Quid and Jose to want to group up as soon as Jose is 6. And we'll see if there's going to be a fight over this bottom side scuttle as Jose goes back to base. But assuming he gets right out and grabs that, he's going to be the one that's first to 6.
Yep, remember that the bottom side scuttle fight, the third scuttle crab was our first big scrap in game number 1. It was damage to both sides. We didn't end up seeing a Drake take right after it or anything
Australia
similar.
time and kangaroo time.
Kryra, both going to show up close
Is it
to
actually
mid lane
called
here.
kangaroo
Both
time?
mid laners
I'd
have
believe
their
it.
Ultimates available. Kryra with the wind becomes lightning, jumps in after Jose,
That's
but a lot of damage
kind of
coming
a
out from Quid.
crazy-
Kryra in danger. Remember, there is no ultimate here on the Xin Zhao.
Thankfully,
to use
bot has first
defensively to
move.
try to escape. He does, however, have a lot of honey fruits there. Lions walking up through the river now too. Importantly, both mid laners using their ultis. Quid only has the single charge
Quid even
left.
have-
Wants to get a little bit more damage onto Call Me, who has to hop away as Core JJ goes forward. Wants to land the handshake, pulls it back. Weirding does keep him alive though, and that's first blood over to DSG. Kryra gets it
Kryra's
done, but
dead.
TL wants to get one back. Jose Diodo, nice
This is
revenge
1 for 1. I
kill.
think this works out for
1 for 1
TL
trade.
more.
Pretty good, though.
Jose
honestly,
could
for
go
DSG,
and-
the fact that they
No,
not
I don't
only
think
get
this is good
first
for
blood,
DSG.
but also their AD carry did not move. So Sajed ran straight back towards bot lane. He's
Nah,
going to be able to
the wave
get some
was
farm
bounced
here
in.
to
Bro,
try
look
to
how
even
much
things
CS
out
they're
a
up,
little
man.
bit, which he desperately needs to do because Jan
I
is
do not
already
think this
20
is-
plus
oh.
CS ahead.
Oops.
Unlikely to go down as Jan takes a couple tower shots.
Oops.
Yeah, double turret
Level
shot
6
there,
crab
really
into
doing
Drake,
some
like
serious
the
damage
extended is just
beyond
really OP,
South Park.
and then
Yeah,
he just
Sajed
gets the base and
needed
just
that
clear
time
top
try
to
to
bottom.
catch up. The
And even look at the
massive
minimap here. I don't
gap
think
is
Morgan
going
is
to
actually
start
doing this for his
causing some
jungler, but
serious
the
issues
fact that
if
he's
DSG
going
does
to
not
go and
find
get
a
the
way
plant
to
from the river
stop
right
that.
now, he's technically covering
Yeah,
this
it's good for
potential
Sajed,
cross
but
map.
then we see Jose
Oh, Jose
Yeah.
needs smite. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
came back up just
Okay,
in
cool.
time.
Now
he's gonna
Jose
be able to get that Drake, and he
can
was
clear
able to
from
get the
Raptors
crab
up,
prior
base
to
to
this
red.
fight. But things get started
Crocs.
pretty early with them trying.
This clear is going to be a little bit weird for a while, but
Core landing the
better than not doing
handshake
it.
here, but then and the charm follow
imagine
up,
if
but
Zin
Kryra
was
being able to
Shen.
go in and assassinate the
Bro, I
Ahri
really
in the
like.
backline,
I
and
want to
then
just play
being
jungle
able
and
to
play
clean
all
up
this
the kill
freaky
onto
shit.
the Xin Zhao.
And I mean,
Like, I want to
honestly,
play
it could've been worse, though.
Brand. I
Lions
want to
missed the
play
bind.
Fizz. I want to play Shen
Yeah,
again.
it's not bad. They use flash and flash.
I mean, it's one of these things where Bard gets those fights so quickly because he has a magical journey. He gets in. Really, all he needed to do was land that heal. He gets in range for the heal.
Yeah, like Malphite jungle is still fine. Like it's nerfed, but it's still good.
If Core got bound under the tower, he could have potentially been going down as well. So Could have been even worse there for TL, but at the end of the day, they do still have this slight lead. And Jan is really most of that, as he is a couple hundred gold ahead.
Surprised Cryer is allowed to
Is
do
going
this.
to feel even better since they
Like,
got
where's
the
Vi?
early first Drake, and it's an early
Wait, what did
Ocean
Vi
Drake.
do?
Since we're still
This-
in the laning
how is this
phase
legal?
when that first Drake is claimed, it means you're just going to have all of the extra sustain, making those trades that much more annoying for DSG to try to contest. They are down about 20 farm in the 80 carry matchup specifically. They do have a lead for Call Me in
Don't even
mid
go
lane.
and cover your.
I'm
No, don't go cover
curious
bot.
how
Just
well
they're
they'll be
they're
able
in
to
the
play
hole. They're
around
in the
that here
hole.
with
Oh,
the
unless
Aurora.
Quid is
We know
doing
this
this.
champion can be
Well,
very dangerous,
then you can
so
get
she
his
has
R
to
and
go
then
in
go cover
very
them
close
after, I
range
guess.
to get her damage in the larger
Boss!
fight. We know that close range is especially
Cryer is
dangerous
griefing, I
against
think.
Renata, as the top laners scrap back and forth a little bit here, and it looks like both of our jugglers will just be passing through mid.
Yeah, we're really going to have to see how TL execute on these dives, because when you have Ahri Vi, you have Callista, like, it's so obvious when you are going for those plays, which can make defensive Bardalts really high value. As Jose caught on ward.
Yeah, Jose Diodo could be in some danger here. Tries to use the Vault Breaker to get away. Has to use the ulti to try to buffer through it, but it won't matter. Call Me gets the kill. Jose goes down.
That's the punish for not checking those brushes, right? He's just recalling on that ward that is in that side brush. Didn't know it was there. Loses the ult and dies. So losing that first ult definitely hurts. And this is a comp that wants to snowball, that wants to play from ahead. You have the defensive Bardal, you have the potential counter engage from the Aurora, you have the Galio ult. Like, there's so many tools there where if you don't one-shot someone at the start of the fight for TL, that DSG really could take over.
Yeah, and that's where TL are really, really going to be looking at the power of this bot lane as we see Jan and Core continuing to play so aggressive. And another thing, Quid goes in.
Yeah, Quid trying to use the Spirit Rush there to grab the solo kill. Does land the charm onto Call Me. However, the heroic entrance from the Galio reinforces the DSG mid laner. Means Quid does not actually have the chance to go for the kill here. But you can see he's constantly looking for these aggressive moves on Call Me.
I mean, that's what you got to do if you're going to play Ahri. You need to play with confidence. Otherwise, there's no point in playing the champ. So he goes aggressive there. As soon as you see the Galio all come down, it gives that Galio passive magic damage shield. And he knew if he was going to kill him, it was going to be by the slimmest margin. So as soon as that shield pops up, there's no way you're killing him. You just kind of have to back off. And Castle, I think, has been very good for DSG. I think he's performed really well throughout the entire lock-in tournament, and he is going to be key, even though he's on a tank.
Was there another scuffle? Was there a scuffle for Grubs?
Yeah, and we've seen the power of Galio,
Or did they just get
being able to come in and save a teammate like we saw there, or being able to engage or re-engage a lot of these fights. And I think, yeah, Castle has kind of been, I don't know if it's unsung anymore, because we've now talked about
Pretty sure they want to move players from most queued mid to least queued jungle.
And kind of the confidence.
Oh,
we
we doing the
this DSG lineup just has in each other.
Are we doing the like
and being able
these
to
champs shouldn't be in the jungle?
It's also going to
shtick?
be on the flip side up to Morgan.
Because I agree with it, but
how
like
he
it's
can
just whatever at this
contribute,
point.
especially in a lot of these early skirmishes and team fights that TL is really going to want to use to snowball with this composition.
Like I'm just over it. Like the balanced team just there's no point in arguing this point. Like they wholly believe it's fine.
It would be risky to try
It's something by design I really disagree with, but
here in the brush. And it
oh,
looks like
this guy's
they'll
hella
just start
dead.
this one off. There's your Vi Wombo combo into the equalizer. No risk at all. Team Liquid are totally fine with that one. They'll pick up the freebie here in top.
Yeah, easy to execute on that dive. Jose just locks him down in the equalizer. Castle was already too low, so there's nothing to outplay. You can't flash the Vi ult. There's nothing you can do in that situation.
Yo, let's
He's
delete that
gonna
mess.
have to help to be able to actually survive through it.
I can't do it on body chat. Yo, you're not in trouble. Just don't type shit like. Even if it's right. Even if it's right. Like we agree.
And all of a sudden, this couple
No, you're good.
and a little bit of experience
You're
didn't
good.
feel
You're
like
good.
it
You're good.
now matters
Just
a lot.
while we're co-streaming, while we're
really
actually co-streaming,
looking to see what
just.
TL is going to do on the map,
Calmate,
specifically
calmate.
with setting up for this second Drake. Because if the Rumble is
But
there
yes,
in
Talon
that
Jungle
fight,
has
he's
been
going to be
he's
incredibly
spent
powerful.
long periods of time being very OP.
Andri's Torment completed that big first item power spike for Rumble that makes him such a terror in the mid game. Kryra going to go ahead and start up this second Drake. Call Me hanging around behind the pit, just keeping an eye out for Team Liquid. Lions and Sajed also both going to rotate over here, but Core and Jan are not willing to just let them try and do that. Lions goes for the ulti, and he finds Jan. Now can the Team Liquid AD carry get himself away to safety? It seems he will. Also going to drag Core JJ back and guarantee that they both escape. So DSG try to get the pick there. They know they had the numbers, but they can't get the kills.
They don't get the kills, and now they're losing farm
Just
mid lane
whatever,
because
bro.
actually Quid just hitting the tower, so Quid is taking plates. He's denying
Just
the
whatever.
farm. Kryra pulled off the dragon, so the dragon is nowhere close to dead now.
And Jose Diodo has made his way into the bottom lane. Core JJ just trying to keep the pressure onto Sajed and Lions as Kryra is forced back. As soon as Jose shows up, Kryra knows, yeah, my bottom lane's not
I mean, there are
gonna be able to
certain
rotate over to
things,
this
I think,
faster.
like,
Quid still has that control over the mid lane
with the
here as
actual
well. So now
active
TL will be
balance
the
of
one starting up
champions,
the drain.
I think they're like,
They're
generally
gonna be able
speaking,
to
fine.
muscle
But
in,
like,
and
bro,
again,
whenever
that's
they,
where this bot lane
whenever the
prio
balance
and
team
mid
wants to
prio
do something
matters
like
so,
cool and
so much,
overarching,
and really nice
they
from TL
just
to be able
miss
to
the mark
play
so
around
bad.
that after kind of that initial,
They just missed the mark so bad, and I hope you
skirmish
guys are
there.
smart enough to understand the distinction of
It
what I mean
also,
here.
if we had
Like, when they make a
Hexbase,
pass
right,
at, like,
delayed the time enough for Morgan's ult to come back up
making
too,
changes,
so he
like
could have potentially been a threat
adding
as
champions to the jungle.
It's a bit scary, I think.
I feel like they missed that mark, but then balance it, like, balancing them, sometimes they're very slow, but like I think they get there eventually.
So it feels like
Other
this is
times
gonna
it's
be one of
just
these games
really.
where it's going to come down to that third dragon fight. We have to see can they do what TL did last game, where TL was basically in the inverse
Dunno.
situation, down around 1,000
There's a
gold,
lot of things
gave up
that
the first two dragons,
I just
were
feel
able
like
to outfight at
we should really
1-2
U-turn
fight,
on,
and then the game
and
kind of
other
flipped.
like
And that's
directions
kind of
that
the
we should
position
go
we're
in.
But all of these champions on TL
But I'm not a
side
designer.
are really strong on one item, and I do think that's going to be one of the big difficulties here for TSG.
I think our next fight is looking like
And I
it
know,
might
like,
just
there's one
be
thing that I
around this
definitely,
Rift Herald
I always
begin.
dislike about the community.
Objective spawning here in less than a minute now. You can see the top side scuttle crab
The thing I
control
dislike
does
about the
go
community
over to
is that, like,
TSG, but they're finding it difficult to move forward and set up anything
a
else.
lot of
The
the
little
time,
ballista
what I
goes
end up
so
seeing
useful for
is
sniffing
like
around before these fights,
people
seeing if they
people
can find
can't
anybody out of position.
Do you think that's
put
what they do?
themselves in a mind where they're not biased
They're sniffing.
They're like little ghost puppies.
about like what they play. And sometimes we even see this
Now I
on
don't
like
like
balanced
that they
team.
can be
Like
killed.
we
Oh,
know,
yeah, that does
we
feel
know
pretty
it
bad
happens.
now.
Yeah.
Well, no, they
You're
can't be
going to have
killed
to
because they're
revise that
already.
statement.
But the way that people
Just
talk
for-
about balance
time to
is
retcon.
often very, very.
I don't
They're
care.
already ghosts.
They'll
Very
kill
jarring.
dogs.
All right, they're not.
No one really
ghost
tries to
buffers,
be
but they do
neutral
sniff
or
around
look for like
enemies. So now we'll see if
a
they
genuine
can,
state of a game that
discover,
like a live server
disguise
should be
here
in
in
if
their
you
own
if you
jungle.
want to take it to an
Goodbye,
even
little
more
ghost.
macro level.
Adios.
Rip.
Kryra's going to take that one out of commission as Jan just continues farming up here in the mid lane. Does have his Blade of the Ruined King completed. Bandle Pipes is done on both supports here too. As Call Me trying to make sure that he stays safe here. Quid just playing so aggressive all game long so far. And now Jose Diodo wants to set it up. Go in here with the Vi. Does hit
No.
the smite onto Call Me, but does not want to overextend. Risk ulting Call Me underneath the turret, getting hit by that powerful Aurora burst and giving away a free kill.
Yeah, easily handled there by Call Me. He was not overextended. He
Yeah,
got
that's
the
another
ult
thing.
off of Quid,
They
which is
often-
nice. Who had
They
popped
often
that,
try
so
to reduce
not
like
a major,
counterplay in
major
certain
cooldown,
champs,
but,
in like
only
some
cost him a
aspects. I
basic
do
ability,
agree.
so still gonna be happy with it at the end of the day.
And it means that the Ahri
Without
will
trying
not
to
be
create
able
new
to
ones
be
or anything.
nearly as effective if Team Liquid wants to try to fight for this Rift Herald, and so DSG is going to take their opportunity to start the
Yep,
objective
I agree.
up. You can see
I
both
agree.
top
Like
laners
I like that
also
Freak
posturing to get
sits
involved
there
in
and
this.
he makes
Castle
those
goes for the
videos.
taunt,
It
but
is
will
they are
not
very, very
find Morgan,
eye-opening.
as the Herald is down to about half health.
And
Morgan
if
looking
you
for the
are somebody
opportunity
that
to
can
maybe
be, hold on,
equalize here.
hold.
Is overheated right now as Kryra's going to be the target, and Jose Diodo jumps in.
Oh my god,
wants
he's
to
just
make
charmed
the
on the
dive,
equalizer.
flashes back over the wall to safety as Sajed is already
The
down.
Herald reset.
Team Liquid looking
Oh
for a
my
little
god,
bit
it's
more.
that
Jan is
Renata.
very low. Will the bailout be able
Oh
to
my
save
god,
them?
the
No.
Renata aura.
Lions takes the kill on that one, but Team Liquid still
That's
firing.
monster good.
Castle's next to die, but Morgan gets smited down. It's a bloodbath here to the topside river as Lions falls to Jose Diodo.
Oh,
Kryra goes on a
charm
magical
over the
journey
wall.
through the wall. TL wants to finish the last couple
Fantastic
kills. Call
stuff.
Me flashes for nothing.
Wow, what a
And
fight.
Team Liquid will take the fight.
Team
TL
Liquid
just
take
rolled
the
them.
fight. I mean, Call Me was late to join.
Why do you think AP
kinda
junglers have gone so
expected Lions
extinct
just use a defensive ulti onto Sajed to buy
this
some
season? I'm
time
sure
as
stuff
they
like
see
Zyrabrand, Karthus,
everything
Lilia,
is getting
etc.
sent on him, but instead,
are still completely alright. Is it just because there aren't any AD mids? Yep,
Yep,
exactly. There aren't any AD mids that are like considered good.
Yeah, and it's going to allow TL, more importantly,
And
to
unless
pick up
Chovy
this
starts the
Rift
trend,
Herald,
you will not see it.
That they kind of
It's
had
that simple.
early rotation on.
Or tipping.
I'm on Kaisa.
I can't hit here.
No,
I'm in
T1.
front. Yeah. This is good. This is good.
Kaisa,
You
Kaisa.
can throw me.
Look, Shin, look, Shin. Shin
On
no
me,
flash,
give
Shin
me
no flash,
W.
Shin no flash.
Lobby Joanne.
Galio no flash, Galio no flash, Galio no flash.
Kill one.
Bard no flash.
Kill Galio. We can win, I think.
Keep playing, keep playing.
Sin's
guys,
out no
keep
flash.
playing.
Sin's out no flash. Sin's out no flash.
Get Frodo, get Frodo. No flash.
There's not no flash here. W10. Nice. Good job, good job, good job. I think we win.
No flash.
Or no flash.
Nice.
We got it. Oh, Kabi. Not bad.
Good fight.
Yeah, good fight there.
Nice comps, honestly. TL, pretty clean calls there throughout the fight, tracking the summoners on the same page throughout of exactly what they wanted to do, and they just executed super well on it. It was a really snappy engage from Jose, even though Ari didn't have ult. So Jet gets one shot, so it doesn't really matter. Just so key with the Vi Ari combo. You cannot stop the Vi ult, so you must stop the follow-up. That is the part of the combo that you can break up. You cannot allow Charm to come through there. You know, someone's got to try to get in the way and body block that, or you have to use the really fast defensive Bardal. Got to be able to shut that down, because now TL, with the Dragon in 30 seconds, are up 2.5K, and that lead is getting a lot bigger.
Yep, Lions has to be careful in the enemy jungle here. Tries to go on a magical journey to get away, but Morgan is
Kryra
still
out, though. That's
roasting
the
him.
real question.
Calmy coming in now to guarantee that his support stays alive, but they've got bigger problems. Kryra's now going to be.
Why did he go in? That was kind of nuts, no?
Galio ulti to try to create enough space to keep
Was that not insane? Oh my god. Now Lions just killed Castle. Oh my god. Well, I think Castle's going to die, but he just made him die in ISO.
It's 3 for nothing for TL, and the Dragon's going to be the immediate trophy.
And they mow down Disguise before.
How come we can play AP top and mid, but not AP jungle and mid? Bro, to be honest with you, it's just a complete psyop. You can play AP mid jungle, it's just people don't like dealing with Merc treads on enemy mid. That's it.
A massive problem.
If I'm being honest, that's like the only thing.
In these fights as well. We wondered how much
Best co-stream? Thank you, Lucky.
be able to contribute, looking to double up that.
And also mids have way too much
he
ego.
just gets so much damage onto
Agreed.
Lions. Follows him through the magical journey because he knows that the rest of his team.
The thing is as well, you can, like, there are like some AP mids that you can actually play with AP jungles that are fine.
Even join the fight. Kryra's basically already dead. Lions ran out the bottom. Like, they're all on a completely different page. And then we have this this Bardal going into the background where Castle's been hostile takeover. It's just like no one is doing the same thing, it feels like, in this fight for DSG.
Yeah, and it especially matters when Castle comes in initially, right? Because TL is already there surrounding him while the Ahri is attacking on the front lines of the fight. So really, really nicely
Play AP
done
jungle,
from
but you
TL,
need
and
tank support and tank
and they've
top.
kind of cracked open the game for
I don't think it's
themselves with a
necessary,
5K
it's just a
gold lead.
really nice to have. You need one. You need one, for sure.
No return, and it's not even 20 minutes on the clock. TL has total
Surely
control.
Oriana, Ryze, and Nivea don't really care about having AP jungler. Yeah, it just depends on which jungler it is, really. But yeah, generally they don't care.
Move into the enemy jungle and start looking for.
What's even AP jungler that's good enough to clear? Bro, like all of them? Is there an AP? Bro, is there an AP jungler? I did the clear actually.
Trade back and forth a little bit. Call Me, of course, is going to win those very snappy, very fast.
And Xin murders Brand on Crab.
But it's still not enough to buy DSG the ability.
I mean, in complete isolation, sure. Like in complete 1v1, yeah. But like Brand is like way more useful because his CC is like, albeit a skill shot, it's far more likely to happen.
Potentially for another trap play through Fog of War.
Uh-oh. They know they need to check.
Like level 3, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, Xin just wins, no?
Check that out.
No, if Brand hits stun on like anyone and gets a passive proc off,
when you get vision, they could just
if people follow up on it, it's pretty good. Like Diana, not Diana, like Brand does a lot of damage, man.
TL has just completely turned the lights out on DSG, and Call Me.
I just don't think you've seen Brand jungle enough.
2 levels right now to Morgan.
And one thing I really like
I think it's not enough.
From TL,
You are incorrect.
not only in this game, but in game 1, that I felt like they were struggling with up until this
You are
point
incorrect.
is some of their side wave control. I feel like that's something that they were known for super, super well when you had APA and Impact, 2 players who are just so map-oriented and minded about those side lanes.
Call Me in some danger, though. Yawn looking to put the spears all the way through his heart, and that'll be the easy kill for Team Liquid. They want even more. So Jed tries to escape, but Quid and Jose are right there waiting. Disguised has just completely fallen apart in game 2, and TL now have a free ticket to the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, that's really tough. You know, Call Me wanted to just try to use the Rocket Belt to get out safety, but then that went into the wall.
We need to make a meta read video, at least for jungle.
Really placed very well, so he
yeah, we do.
actually quite get to it, and then there was a
We really
nice
do.
time
Maybe we could do that.
And Core flies in and knocks him up as he's trying to exit out with that ulti, and at the end of the day, dies without flashing, is taken down, so Jed is gone. TL's going to get a free Baron. Game 2 is cooked. Like, this game is completely cooked.
IMO, that's probably why you don't see any, but would probably be...
a massive series of mistakes.
But
Like,
probably
TL
best
has to
read would be
have
Owl Dominates because he has Scream Info and is an actual jungler.
For DSG to have a chance, it's just completely gotten out of control.
DSG's hoping and praying that Jose did not charge the mouse enough here in this game, and something happens to the Vi in the middle of a team fight. Because
no, where's the emote? Do we not have the... No, I have to go find it.
Yawn and Jose going to push
where's the emote? I need it right now.
In the top lane. Disguise trying to defend what they can. Meanwhile, Quid is prepping the push over in mid for the multi-pronged attack from Team Liquid. Core JJ maintaining control over the enemy jungle. Kryra forced to ult defensively on the Xin Zhao, but still Jose and Quid are looking for more plays. Galio ulti also forced out of Disguise now as Castle tries to land a
Bro, have your own opinions.
Anything they can get back, but Disguise just don't have the firepower.
Have your own opinions.
You have Kalista already attacking the top turret.
Last day's a
Once
mob? No.
again, They should be able to easily take this with the Baron.
Bro, you're allowed to.
This is what makes this TL team
Like,
now
I'm not
so
some
dangerous
like
because
straight
they can
dictator
split
that
you
needs to
up,
live in an echo
play with
chamber.
Fog.
Like, I'm
They're in
down to
such a
have
strong
people.
position. Oh,
Hold.
Okay, Lions hits the Bard ulti there
Hold.
onto Yon,
Guys,
but
it's only
not
8k
really
gold
gonna
deficit.
get
Could be
him a
good.
whole lot. Castle's now taking a ton of damage. DSG's only play ends up being serving their
Oh
own,
my
do
god,
it
it's
for
gonna
the
be a
silver
3-0.
platter. Quid is unstoppable. Lions is gonna drop double kill back over to the Ahri.
Oh my
as
god.
Nobody but Call Me is left standing, and Team Liquid is just gonna walk this one straight to the Nexus. 23 minutes on the clock.
It's even more one-sided than
Opposing opinions is what keeps the combo moving. There's also that. Like, that's also an important part to have in conversation. I think it's also a very important part of life. I think it's why we're societally in the position that we're in. If we want to go a little bit big picture and macro, like algorithms put you in such like massive echo chambers that no one actually really has their own opinions anymore. And all people tend to hear is their own opinions. It's like not to like the obvious like path to take this conversation as this is a 24-minute game is like political stances. Like I have friends who are on the right side of the political spectrum. Now I don't have friends that are any further than like moderate because of what's going on, especially right now. Like I think if you can realistically be further than moderate right wing right now, your head is not in a good place. But I've always historically had people that have opposing views to my own on a multitude of subjects around me, because it's important to have that perspective. You can't have like a narrow worldview. I think it's so bad. I think it's so bad to have a narrow worldview, man. Also, I'm gonna run ads because the game's done, so I'll see you after. Some of you after that. I do apologize for those who get slammed. Are you saying you just don't get your opinions from Elon tweets forced on your feed? Nah, I don't, thankfully. I swear to God, Riot just needs to make a physical damage control mage. Just work Tlaw to deal, rework Tlaw to do physical damage, since all she does is hit you with rocks anyways. You know what? That is kind of an interesting archetype of like character that's not really in the game. Like we don't have like a. Do we have an AD caster that isn't like an AD carry and not an assassin? I think we should maybe look into this. Isn't that kind of Kalista? No, Kalista's an auto attacker. She's an on-hit auto attacker. Lucian kinda? Nah, he can do both. Jace is the closest, but he's still mostly melee. Yeah, Jace is actually a good example of someone like this, actually. Jace, kind of in this play pattern, does obviously end up being a assassin, though. Smolder. Yeah, Smolder's... I would categorize Smolder as something like this. Yeah, Smolder's a good. Who won? TL. TL1. It's 2-0 right now. Corki, I think, kind of used to be. But yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't like having this part muted. I like having this part on. But yeah, we should look into having more. We should look into having more AD casters. Problem with Smolder is he still does a lot of magic and true damage, so having him as a physical damage counterbalance as your mid doesn't work. Yeah, he's just a bit of a mishmash. Urgot, I wouldn't really necessarily classify classify him as a caster. Like his whole thing works off of his passive, right?
I'm going
just to see how stompy it ended up being. It's interesting that it started off so close there, Kobe, because the goalie didn't actually start picking up until about this stage in the game, where it then exploded. But again, it's like the 15-minute Team Liquid.
Incognito.
The 15-minute Team Liquid.
You don't want to see it.
Can't see what's going on after that. But after 15 minutes is when Team Liquid actually turned on. So I'm actually way more bought in by the way they're winning these games, because I know they're capable of blowing people out in the early game. They're actually not blowing out
Do you
teams.
define AD caster like a mage that's AD, or what do you mean specifically? I think what we're talking about, like in the context of what we're talking about, yeah, like imagine a Tlaw type champion or a Zeref type champion that dealt physical damage and didn't really have auto attacking as like a core part of his or theirs or hers kit.
The challenge for me with Team Liquid is if they can maintain their leads.
Zeri was supposed to be that.
Doing that.
Yeah, kind of. Zeri was supposed to be that.
I was wondering, like, okay, how
But she kind of just was she supposed to be that? I don't know. She was supposed to just have her whole thing was supposed to be auto attacks and skill shots. I don't know if that fundamentally makes her a caster. It was so insane when Smodel could use effectively 80% of the items in the game. Yeah. Varus, Graves. No, auto attacking is pretty core to Graves' kit. Varus can be built like 5 different ways, but like as a lethality champion, he kind of fits that archetype, kind of.
To win, and Game 3 is coming up after this short break. Will there be a Game 4?
No.
Doesn't look like it.
I gave you
Ezreal is the AD caster character. Yeah. 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 Kiana kind of. Yeah. Kiana's up there, I would say, but she's also an assassin. Remember, we're not mentioning assassins right now. I'm a Pantheon fits the bill, both post and pre as rework. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, he uses auto attacks to stack his passive, but like most of it is to cast his spells to like have empowered Bomboclat is to have empowered cast spells. So yeah. GP? Yeah. GP is a good example. GP might be perhaps the perfect example, actually. They're not making an AD mage because being able to auto for high damage would be broken, right? Well, as long as they don't inherently scale off crit, I don't think it has to be. I don't think it has to be the case. Aatrox maybe is also a good example. But obviously, we're talking about mages. Alawi. Yeah. Yeah. I think weaving AAs is fine. Like, I think if weaving AAs is a core to the kit, then I don't mind it. Just, like, changes the scope of what we're talking about. You just make an AD mage have 350 to 400 auto range, and then they don't want to really find autos, and you give the abilities like 700 range on the abilities. This is a sound compromise in theory. I would love to see how it works in practice. Yeah. I think 350 to 400 is a bit low. I would maybe say 500, but yeah. Because then 500 puts you at like Kalista range almost. And I think that's fine. But you're still lower than Kalista range. But yeah, I think it would be cool to see more of this archetype of champ. The few that exist are pretty unique. And at least to me, I'm the person, I'm the kind of person, Yeah, I really feel like we need to see more like design for A. Oh, Xbox has a new CEO. That means Phil Spencer is gone. Honestly, fuck Phil Spencer for that one games. Yo, bro. Well, not really fuck Phil Spencer for real. But that one time, when they announced Black Ops 7 last year, and it seemed like they were going to announce the Halo thing. Oh my god, bro. We're going to explode you, bro. Just hope the next one isn't worse. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Game that fast these days. Like, it's just very, very rare for games to be that quick. So
Yurik is kind of cost 3-2. Yeah, but he's like a minion monster.
Now the question is, can these rookies over on the DSG side, like, can they stabilize, calm down, be able
He
to
is
reset
like a
yourself
minion
mentally,
monster.
and try
Not that that's a
to
bad
have what it
thing,
takes
of
to come
course.
back, 'cause you would need to reverse sweep a team has tremendous amounts of experience in these situations when you have very
The meta is essentially the same as last year, isn't it? It would be great to have a complete shift in meta. Yes, it's very similar. I'm not gonna sit here because I've been a very big hater of Fearless.
is that much harsher as opposed to when we did see DSG.
But because I've been a very big like proponent that I think Fearless is gonna actually further stagnation. But
in the mid lane in that first game,
yeah. It would be nice to actually have a different set of champions being played inside of Fearless ATM.
How potentially creative this team can be, especially with, I think, Kryra in the jungle. He has a few pocket picks that we've talked about that he could potentially bring out. And then we know Castle is very willing to play a wide variety of champions. But honestly,
who's been good on
the
DSG?
big thing for me has just been, even when they did get that
Yeah, no one's been good on DSG today, really. Sajed is maybe like... No, but even Sajed had the Corki Valk mid. I don't know, they've all been stinking it up, Beast. It's been a pretty rough showing for DSG, unfortunately.
has been looking good, and I feel like it hasn't as much to me.
DSG is playing poor, TL are playing with coordination, yeah.
Like, okay, the wheels just fell off.
The coordination has been there. I'm stealing, even though Azel's talking about DSG right now, I think that's what the difference has been.
TL with one plan, right? And it is, 4 or 5 TL members walking together. Well, one guy from DSG is over here. Some guy's clearing vision. Someone's looking to run. Someone's looking to engage. Someone wants to go.
Which role would you spend the most money if you were to create a professional team?
And if you go up against a team that is very decisive with and you are having that kind of game, you are just not.
I mean, I think the role that I value the highest. Honestly, C9 stomp both. W sign. W sign. I would probably say jungle and AD are the two that I think are the most important in comp, followed by support, then mid being tied, and then top is whatever. But then also it does depend on what meta you're in, so there's that too.
And two big champions
cool. Oriana's up.
Are both in the mid lane with Azir and Oriana, both up.
They are going to trade them. I think Quid is actually more likely to go to Oriana, but let's see.
Coming out, so if TL do want to first pick
are we picking a champ?
Quid,
Pantheon.
Then have to deal with
Bass?
the Nocturne Oriana combination, but we see the Pantheon is actually going to be coming out for Jose Deodo.
I mean, it is kind of funny because these days, basically, like mid-jungle...
I don't think best of 3 really uses
either one or
the full potential of Fearless. Oh, brother. Okay, we're gonna ban the Fearless discussion because those of you who are new here don't know how many times we've gone around in circles talking about Fearless.
If you want to count like Sejuani or
We're gonna just stick this in the floor. We're gonna put the goalpost in the floor right now.
Every game essentially becomes you're just tier list drafting the AD junglers and the AP control mages, and like.
But let's just say, overall, my general takeaway is that whilst I think it's good for viewers to keep them a little bit more engaged, Fearless holistically on a larger like sense, keeping it permanently is a bad idea.
Or like or whatever, you know, like it's really what League of Legends is right now, and this is probably going to be Aatrox jungle, could also be top, of course, but that is another one of those. If you're just kind of tier listing down all the ones that haven't already been banned out.
All right, Team Liquid, what are we going to cook up? I also am just going to put a tiny little asterisk. I know that
Leon's is banned from bot.
Core JJ has historically been one of our supports who will play a Pantheon support. So I'm going to say there's always a possibility it's a flex.
That is just
I've seen Kangas play some Pantheon support, and if I'm going to be judging it off of that, it's looking pretty weak right now. It needs some buffs.
Might be a slight difference between Core JJ and Kangas.
That's not fair?
That's really fucked up. You know what? I've played with Kangas. Yo, I've played with Kangas's Pantheon support, and it's not bad. It's okay.
Azir is a monster to me just because he fits in so many compositions. If you're ever wondering, is Azir ever going to fall out of pro play? The answer is pretty much no, unless they absolutely gut him.
Let's change the fear mat to fearful. You can only play one champ for a best of 5. Who wins worlds?
We see the Gnar hover.
Gen G. Probably.
Yeah.
Away, okay.
Now this is where I would love if you can actually swap that Aatrox to jungle. If Kara is comfortable playing it, then Castle could try to go for something a little bit more spicy in the top lane. You could try to look for some counter picks.
Yep.
Like Ignite Kennen is what immediately came to mind for me. Jace is another good one. There are some different matchups you can go, but I feel like, hey, you just got stomped in 2 games. Counterpick for your lane.
Tlaw today, T-Pain next time versus C9.
It's going to be Jax, which I think is fine. I don't really see this as a lane counter, but it is something that outscales and definitely has potential to put pressure on Gnar.
Also something that we just know Castle is super comfortable with, right? So in these
Is this live patch or 16.3? I think NA is always on live patch.
And they end up with the Jax, so we'll see how he'll be able to pilot that. I do think, as the sung hero of DSG
tales
thus
are
far,
written about him.
Exactly, some tales.
Excuse me.
The big thing, difference maker that has been in team fights when he is able to find kind of these really interesting flanks. We've seen him do well on the Jax. I still remember that Aurora triple kill he had in Topside River during their last outing. So we'll see how he can contribute here. Once again, Ashe taken off the table. DSG do not want to go up against that Ashe. Seraphine lane and Ezreal removed for TL.
We're on live patch and we didn't slam Graves into B1 via last game. Brothers ain't playing Graves, man.
And doing like Aphelios, Lulu, you know, Jinx, those kind of things. So that's kind of, I think, where
it
we're
is
at
unfortunately
the
not happening.
Carry tier list right now. You can also go Sivir as far as, you know, those hyper carries are concerned. So I'm going to be interested to see if TL wants to continue squeezing that pool and where they will go.
Zaya banned out here by Disguise.
Kasante is your AD caster in a sense. Yeah, but he's like a tank into Bruiser champ, right? We're talking about like one that actually handles like a control mage or an archetype of a control mage.
Disguised comp, and I'm not seeing a whole ton of engage. I feel like the remaining picks, obviously one of them has to be a marksman. So the support, I think you're going to need some stronger engage potential if you really want to be able to make plays against Team Liquid.
Yeah, and as we see this Smolder hover coming out of Sajed, another
I mean,
really interesting thing
you are
is that
walking
Karma
face
is now
first
off the ban
into a
list
Lucian
if, they want to go some
lane.
sort of
Okay,
enchanter
there
pushing
you go.
lane. And Lulu is available. Again, we've been so heavily bot lane and that's going to continue here with the Lucian locked in
just slammed the lane.
for Sajed. And my assumption
Actually,
is
maybe you
going
can
to
play
be,
Caitlyn
based on what TL pick, they're going to adjust their enchanter on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can do Enchanter. Obviously, Nami was already played earlier because of that pairing, but so you could do things, common pairings like Melio,
Aphelios
like Braum
Lulu.
are good.
Into Ornn, I think, Ori, I think it's hard.
So maybe you just kind of
Oh
like
my
slam down
god.
the Alistar and you still
Zeri
do
Lulu.
something like that, even if it is a weaker
Aphelios
lane,
Lulu.
just to try to
Yeah.
enable their engage. And I think on the other side, we probably are going to get like a Aphelios Lulu or something along those lines. Aphelios Lulu would also be cool because it could be a denial pick. From
Actually,
the
I
other
kind of
side.
like this. This is a good angle. Loki, take it.
With the picks that are up and available.
But do you need Lulu?
The engage is not going to be great on the
Do you need Lulu to survive the lane? I think the answer is yes.
Pantheon or a flank from Anar, you know, Azir
But let's see.
does have the potential to start
I think
fights
this is.
up
I think both options
so
are
both
fine.
teams will be a little bit light on engage, but generally when that happens, range kind of becomes king, right? It's who can poke and prod and force the other team.
Wasn't there a Korean ADC called Prince? There was, and I don't know where he is now.
I feel like that is more.
I think that brother might be
TL
teamless.
Yeah, especially with the Azir and then the Aphelios Lulu coming out of this bot lane, it does make it so much more dangerous if they do feel like they need engage and want to pick that Alistar. That's going to be a really, really rough initial lane, but no, they're actually going the
I think the Gambit is up. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to run ads just as we get into the game, so they won't run in the middle of the game, potentially. It would have to be a pretty long game, but we're just going to clear it. And I'll see you on the end of it.
So I do think, you know, did they get much out of this like 5th pick counter pick? No. I think you could have been blinding the Rel and you would have kind of ended up in a same.
He's caster on LCK since last year. Oh, that's cool.
But I think that they had to kind of do it for their composition.
And I feel like this also goes
the 2-month Prince Prime was crazy.
How Disguise doesn't seem like they've all been on the same page.
Yeah,
so
it
far
was
in
with
series,
it.
particularly compared to their opponents who seem much more coordinated. If you don't have that solid engage, those mistakes, those discombobulations are going to be that much more apparent, right? If we just have the one big go button, okay, strap the ball to Rel's head, Cinder in there, right? Like that's how you're going to get everybody on the same page. You have a very clear, very telegraphed, hey, we are going in, and I feel like Disguised have got to be coordinated if they want to keep this series going.
And by contrast, although we did talk about kind of a slight lack of engage on TL side, they still do have a lot of tools where they can coordinate and kind of stack some sort of CC potential with the Gnar, like you talked about, Azael, with the Azir shuffle. So if they are able to set up team fights well, they'll have the range advantage with the poke.
There's a free
and
Janna Sona
then they'll
lane.
be able to set up engages.
Yeah, people don't really play those champs.
Makes the wall of soldiers, Gnar slams
Improber.
everybody into the wall of soldiers. A little bit of wombo combo fun there. If
Reckless ain't in this game.
Right, but we're on to the Rift for the 3rd time today. Runes on your screen. Nothing really super surprising here. I am curious how well the jungle Aatrox is going to be able to do. Isaac, you were talking about how the tier list just kind of work. You go down them. A lot of the junglers have already been picked.
The next best AD jungler.
And that just happens to be Aatrox this time around. So mid lane as well. Quid, we saw him playing so aggressive in the previous game on the Ahri. Obviously, Azir is not going to be quite that level of aggro, but I still do want to see him continue to play in the faces of his opponents.
I will say it's kind of cool. Obviously, Cryer doesn't have a ton of competitive experience, but it is his first ever Aatrox game in competitive play. And Aatrox, I do think, is a champion that takes some
Yo,
limits.
Avian,
You
what's
really
good?
do kind of have to know the limits
Hello,
because
sir.
on these drain tank style champions, you have to know how far you can go, right? You know, how much you can push the limit. So it takes a lot of experience as far as that is concerned, and then just getting really comfortable with the EQs, making sure you're placing those well, like all the timings on how to actually duel, and knowing your limits in the 5v5s.
Yeah, and we'll see if he can potentially pull it off, because I think talking about, again, the way this DSG roster was constructed, Kryra coming on, the fact that they continued scrimming with him even when Kizno was the one who was here and he was still playing from Canada, I think this is a really interesting angle for him to be able to pop off, considering how much they've relied on him, not even as a carry, but also as a facilitator.
Okay, tri-lane cam is on, and it's a fast path towards bottom lane for Jose Diodo. Level 3 on this Pantheon, looking to maybe set up a dive. This is a massive wave that's about to crash into the turret. Sajed is still only level 1.
Sajed Maha.
Jumps in, and there's your first blood over to Team Liquid.
Well,
that is an absolute
oh my god, he is level 1 and a cannon wave is crashing into the tower.
Thank you, Jose Diodo, for giving me my early jungle gank. We got it. Finally, really, really nice recognition that with this bot lane being as shoved in as it was. We talked about the pushing power, especially of the Lulu here. So really, really nice wraparound gank.
It's 19-2 in bottom lane minions. To 2.
That's why I was going to say, I kind of almost want to, like, see how it went so bad. Like, what was the trade that went that horrible? Was it just, you know, them going a little bit too far and getting slowed down and chased down, or kind of what happened. Because usually for those types of HP advantages to happen, it's like someone overextends.
Maybe even though Atrox come, you can one shot it.
Barrier, okay?
He's on
No
heal.
heal.
What do you think? Yeah.
I'll go.
I can start tanking. I drop.
Nice.
I drop.
Back up.
Nothing. Yeah.
Good job.
Wow.
I mean, that was easy, but Morgan.
Email type series.
Yeah, I mean, that dive just looks so easy, right? You know, to me,
Yeah,
it's, like, the
it's
interesting part
getting
of
there,
that
innit?
is kind of how they got that low. And I was watching some of the other lanes more for the trading there when we were in the tri-lane cam, but you know, Jan not even having to use Ghost to trade down and get a big trade or anything like that. That's rough. I mean, when you're going up against Aphelios Lulu, it never gets better. It's these champions scale to infinity, so there's no like, all right, we'll just scale, guys.
Yeah, just play safe, fellas. It's a problem down here in bottom lane, and the problems continue. Lions down to 200
Lions
HP.
is dead.
Jan chasing after him with the gravitum.
I mean,
for
just
JJ,
right-click.
making sure that his AD carry can
Oh,
make this
can you
pursuit
kill
go
that guy?
all the way underneath the turret.
I feel like that
So
was.
much damage onto both
I feel like that was
of
really bad, no? I feel like
them.
Leon can just take the
Both have to flash
take
away,
Leon's kill here.
barely survive.
I mean, that is horrible.
What's the
And
game to
now
LEC and LCS tomorrow?
Crash it, so you're gonna be able to deny some of these minions here also.
Good question.
And
Let's find out.
that is just Ghost traded for 2 flashes. So, and then when you have no flashes, it's not even like you can hope for the bailout of a gank, because this is Aatrox.
Tomorrow is
Aatrox
Leon
can't-
Fly.
Aatrox can't just,
That'll
like,
be
run
very
in and
fun.
one-shot them,
And then
right? Like you need to have the rel to be
tomorrow
able to set them up.
is.
So,
Oh
this is
god,
looking dire. I'm
it's
not gonna lie,
probably
dire already for GSG. Their
GX,
bottom lane is
Heretics,
basically
Fnatic,
out of the game.
Vitality, I think.
Jose Dioto's on Pantheon
Unless they
with a
play the
point
best of
and
5
quick
tomorrow
stun.
instead, but that would be a bit
flashes to
weird.
get out of the range before he can make
Yeah,
that happen
okay.
guarantees that if he wants to show up again, they're going to have
Yeah.
the tools to make a play and continue trying to just steamroll this game through bottom lane.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Really
we're not going to
interesting,
be
again, how
watching
well
the
bot
LEC
lane
tomorrow.
is performing. We talk about the power of them and how good they've been in the past, and how good they've been in scrims. Everyone says they've just absolutely been crushing it.
Because it's CB LOL till I die tomorrow. We're doing CB LOL co-stream, guys. I'm super excited for it.
A lot of them awards to realize, you know what, just gonna back it up.
I am super excited.
Also not quite level 6 here on the Azir. Usually you'll see them go in and try to immediately ult the Orianna.
I hope you guys show up. Does
Does
Loud play tomorrow? I think it's Furia, Furia and LOS. Doge. I'm not sure how to say this name.
The kill, Comet Spear. Nope. Didn't end up actually throwing it.
Honestly, at the end of the day, pretty nice. You just use the Aegis Assault for a little burst of move speed, gets in close, flash, stun, and it is just a trade of flashes.
What time does CB LOL start? 4 o'clock UK. 4 o'clock UK, 11 a.m. East Coast.
Sweep them back in with your flash, have the Pantheon all come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is about hitting level 6 for Jose.
Wait, Furia Los is Sunday? Oh shit, wait. Oh, is it Loud Red tomorrow? Oh my god, what a jumping on point. It fucking is.
Usually
Wow.
not going to be the strongest early on or ever. But you get it out of the way, you grab an objective, which is honestly a relief considering how bad bottom lane has been going so far. To be able to take the first Drake is, you're wiping the sweat off your forehead a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually huge because you don't.
How's
give
CB LOL
away
looking?
that
Do they have a
early
team
Drake
going to first
stacking
stand?
to
They'll have a team
TL,
going to first
especially
stand.
when this bot
The
lane
reason why I'm
has,
actually really
like,
excited
so
about
much
CB LOL
pressure on this bot side as we see them
is
shoving
because
another
it is just a
wave,
very
towards
entertaining
that
league.
turret.
Like,
Was it you, Flowers,
I
who
want to
said
get
that
invested in
Hendrix is
the
silly, that's why
stories
no
of the
one wants
league,
to take it?
for one,
That sounds
personally,
like
right?
something I would say. That sounds like
But
some
also,
logic behind it.
mechanically,
Liquid pushing up in the bottom lane here
ooh, good
yet
force
again. Morgan
flash.
goes Mega Gnar topside, forcing
Mechanically,
Flash out of castle
in
in
terms
response
of
to
relativity,
now
these
both
teams are
top
typically
laners
at the
without
top,
their
very
flashes.
close to each other.
For JJ,
They fucking
putting
fist
the
fight to the
war
death,
here next
perma,
to the
in
enemy
Brazil.
bomb
It's
as the
so
big
fun to
wave
watch. It's
crashes
baby
through the
LPL.
turret. Sajed and Lions at least
It's
not
legit baby
going to
LPL.
get dove on this one, so Sajed should be able to pick up most
Does
of
Crack
this
9 play
farm,
tonight?
but the pressure
No,
just
bro,
remains
Crack 9
so
doesn't play
constant.
tonight.
It's still 55 to 35 in the bottom lane CS.
Yeah, and don't allow bot lane being cooked to distract you from the fact that top lane is also looking
They
kinda
will
cooked.
be playing on
he was
Sunday.
Down 20 CS at one point. He did collect the wave. It's going to be pushing back to Morgan. But Castle had the ability to counterpick, had his flash force there in the 1v1. And it's just looking rough. I mean, they can't even walk up to the tower, really. Jose's coming, and if Sajed tries to enter, he's going to die.
Yeah, looks like Cryro will at least make his way in here as well. Level 7 on the Aatrox, so he is pretty strong. Goes forward, looks for the Darkened Blade. Jose Dioto is going to be your target, but Lions dies first, and Jose just throws up the shield. Now the smite to Kryra as he tries to get his way. The World Ender is used, but no, Yon's got the chase. The crescendum is so
C9 TL better, or is G2 MQuake KC better so far? Well, unfortunately, TL is mega deadweight in this specific example, at least if the stage games are anything to go by.
Point of pain here in the bot lane.
Yeah,
C9 look really good. Oh,
Quid.
Ooh, nice, and the 2 turret shots as well as Calmy tries to get away.
Oh, the shockwave stopped the work. That's so funny.
Down, but Calmy survives for now. Has about 20
Can he TP out?
Is using the potion.
Oh, Jose Dioto is going to see him.
Wants to see if maybe he can get away on this.
Oh.
Goes for the TP, and Calmy calls it quits in the enemy jungle. Manages just barely to get home.
Calmy escapes, but still a massive win for TL, going immediately from that bot side play into Quid pushing up. As we see, Core JJ has just been such a problem, and I was a little concerned for TL with the level lead that Kryra has, but Lions immediately gets stunned up and dropped as he goes in. Kryra gets polymorphed, and all the chakrams coming out of Yon just kill off Kryra.
Yeah, and I mean, while you do have a level lead there for Kryra, the problem is Lions is less than half HP, has to use the heal before he even goes in, and Sajed was level 4 to level 6 on the Aphelios, so it's like, there's just no damage behind that engage. I don't blame them for going for it because it was looking completely doomed. If you can't walk up to your tower at this point of the game, you just can't play the game. And unfortunately, that's the situation that they are in, now down about 1K. The buy for Sajed is looking rough, and it is going to be a really tough game to be able to kind of claw back. It's feeling very similar to Game 2 to me.
DSG are trying to maintain a little bit of control around this bottom side river if they can. They secure another scuttle. Kryra tries to steal away some camps there, looking at the enemy chickens. Sajed, again, just forced back. The Lucian having to run away from Lulu because Lulu is just straight up stronger is not good tidings.
No. He does have, he did hit level 6 now.
Yeah, that double wave crashing is just absolute horror. Like, Sajed is 50 CS at 10 minutes. Oh my god, we'll do on that.
Yeah, and Jose
We'll do on that. Was it
might
over?
have been looking for a play on that bot side. Jose has just kind of been everywhere with this Pantheon. I really, really love how he's approached playing this out with his lanes, even with that kind of level lead sacrifice that he was making.
And I think it's just one of these situations where you have to recognize your role in the game, right? You have Aphelios, Azir, Lulu. Like, you have a lot of scaling, a lot of damage. Your job on the Pantheon is to enable them, to set them up for success. So if you have to drop farm to be able to put them in a better situation, that is worth doing. Jose is behind them once again, and Aatrox is not here, so...
Yeah, there's the wild growth. Lions is locked up. He's out of there. Jose Dioto on a killing spree, and Yon has the Infernum yet again to fast shove the waves. Sajed's trying to cull the wave down just to keep himself alive, but the culling can only take out the front line of the minions. Now Jose and Core can just walk on up. It's that easy. Another kill over to Jose Dioto.
This is absolute decimation.
It's a horror. Oh my god, they're getting fried.
Side of the map. Because I thought Quid might be looking for another potential ult there. Doesn't go for it. Takes a lot of damage.
Calmy's like, don't worry guys, I'm up 6 CS. How are your lanes going?
Just that nightmare situation where you feel like your lane's going well, you press tab. You really wish you didn't press tab. Now we've got the ulti coming in the mid lane from Jose Dioto. Flashes towards Calmy, goes for the stun. Needs a little bit more damage to secure the kill. Won't quite find it here just yet. Comet Spear collides, but he doesn't have the damage.
Nicely done there by Lions. Good roam, covers his mid laner, so doesn't have to use the flash. And Kryra gonna get pushed back. I mean, Quid is low. They are kind of hanging around, but I just don't think that DSG have the ability to actually get access to him. So it will just be the pushed wave. And you can see Yon already has the Storm Razor, so the move speed gonna be ramping up quite a bit now too.
Yeah, both mid laners chunked, but importantly, Quid has his teleport available, and Calmy does not because he had to use it earlier to get away when he was behind enemy lines. So this should be some pretty easy setup around the Drake for TL if that's what they want to go for. DSG is trying to burn it down fast before that can happen, but Quid has already made his way back into the mid lane, and Kryra and the rest of DSG are going to have to seriously consider how badly they want this Drake. Kryra's still hanging around, but here goes Jose Dioto, immediately starting up the fight. He's taking a ton of damage. Shield keeps him alive a little bit longer as Lions goes in for the engage. Jose is low, but he's not dead here just yet. Finally shut down. Goes up to DSG Lions.
No, Kryra's out of damage.
Don't have the damage to get the kills.
Oh my god, Yon!
Double kill for Lions. gone.
I'm
It's
so
down to
drunk.
50 HP, trying to heal up here on the Aphelios. CoreJJ right next to him wants to try to keep this carry protected.
Oh!
Nice through the wild growth to
Oh!
deny
Oh, they got
the
shockwave.
down, but the kill still comes through. DSG. It was looking so bleak, but they found themselves a fight. Now Core is trapped in the enemy jungle. Lions
my
will
God.
block him up, but he misses Shattering Strike. Call Me takes the kill, and DSG aren't done fighting just yet.
Great job there by DSG being able to find something off the back of this Pagoda moment. We can watch it one more time, as it felt like Yon and Core were a little bit disjointed from where Jose was. Jose is very far up. All 4 members from DSG are hitting him the whole time, and Yon didn't feel comfortable to move up because Lions still had his ult. He gets flashed on there. Then you're thinking, all right, well, maybe Yon can take over now, but Quid on the side dies to Sajet as well as Lion. And, you know, then you're in this situation where you're in this kind of 2v3. I feel like they played it really well. The timing on the wild growth was great, and then Core moves in front to try to block the culling, but that just stacks you up for the shockwave.
Yeah, and that's absolutely huge for DSG, who are looking pretty out of this game going into it, taking advantage of a really split fight, right? Like, not only was Yon not able to get in, but Quid was off on the side, a bit separated from his team as well. And now we'll see what they're able to do with it. But most importantly, I mean, they do secure... oh no, the Drake wasn't taken, never mind.
Well,
I'm crazy.
Sajet is no longer a minion at the very least. Like he has an item.
He has Kraken Slayer.
He's been upgraded, so at least your AD carry is online. It's still a bad spot, but we'll see.
Yeah, Quid going in for the Emperor's Divide. Looks for Call Me here. Takes him down to about half HP. As you can see, Jose Dioto making his way forward, but Kryra has also arrived. DSG, they're gonna get another one. Team Liquid is playing sloppy with their lead, and it's DSG punishing.
Oh, guys, maybe it's not a 3-game series.
He's actually had a really strong play now. He has these 3 boots. He has his Ludens completed off the back of that last fight. So he has now the biggest individual lead of the game. He's actually more ahead
it's going to be a 7-game series.
Sajet.
Now CoreJJ getting caught here too.
Oh my God.
CC, and the culling has enough damage right behind
Oh
it.
my... Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. Oh, lads. Lads, give it a rest.
Team Liquid
Lads.
thrown the lead.
And now Sajet is up in gold after that, which is a lot of really mistakes coming out of TL and DSG being able to punish.
I'm Team Liquid. Like, bro, what are we doing?
Both, you know, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. I really love some kung fu movies.
Me have lead, me caveman.
The bad villains in those, walking in
like,
one
bro,
at a time to fight
come on,
hero.
man.
Exactly. Just, you know, Cora go first. They'll see what's up. All right. You know, you took me down. Now it's gonna be Jose's turn. What can Jose do against our hero? And it's looking like not much, unfortunately, for him, as TL, you know, some pretty big mistakes, honestly. You know, Quid dies for free mid, and then you have multiple deaths bot.
He can't find me. He can't find me.
Yeah,
right,
man.
He can't.
True.
Yeah, this was a 3,000 gold lead for Team Liquid earlier. It is now a 1,000 gold lead for Disguised. An absolutely massive throw, and it's just crazy.
Look at the CS difference bot, by the way, and you're up 83 gold. It's like, hey guys, I'm up 40 CS on my enemy bot laner at 15 minutes. Oh, you're ahead on gold? Well, no.
Dude, Sajet is going to be second item before Yon is.
We talked earlier back in like
how hilarious is that?
About how
after how this game began.
More from their punishes, but in this third game, that is absolutely not the case. DSG has done a great job getting back into this game. They've got both of the early Drakes here so far. We'll see if they can continue finding more plays, as CoreJJ and Yon could be in a little bit of danger.
Sajet heading gold. Shut down gold, mate.
Yon has the ghost to give himself enough
shut down gold.
to stay safe here on the Aphelios.
Is there another series today? No.
Sajet might just get to his second item first.
Call Me is alive, and he's able to walk out. Oh, Kryra could not. Oh! Oh! Okay! Is Jose allowed to flash? He has E. He's out. Oh! Oh my god, Lion. Oh, wait. Can Kryra chase down here? Can he force the Leon flash or? No. Oh my god.
Morgan is able to clean up this.
Okay, Morgan is running the top lane matchup at least.
But these fights are all now DSG, and a lot of it is the little Lions redemption arc on this round. As the final to round out this composition. Jose and Quid think they're going to be able to get on to Call Me. He is the strongest point on this. But then here we go, Lions in immediately. Great rel engage.
You know what I don't get is I was like, okay, there's a ward. They were on a ward the whole time. I thought, my initial assumption was, oh, they must have thought that the Orianna and the rel backed off. They were on a ward. This is the ward. They saw him the whole time.
This Team Liquid decision making in Game 3 is feeling like some solo queue stuff, man. Well, there's a guy with a different colored health bar on my screen. I should
Casey wanted Quid, Saint, and Zinni, by the way. They are happy with Yahoo in hindsight, I think.
Crazy. TL are going to start up the Rift Herald now, see if they can acquire the additional power to maybe
they should be.
The game through this objective.
Yahoo is definitely the best performing of the four so far.
Pushing out mid, pushing out bot, Herald goes over to TL.
The most deadly rel.
That said, like Quid in EU would have maybe been a movie.
As we see DSG continuing to kind of bully Morgan.
Quid's been good IMO? No, he's had a really weak split so far.
Damage further onto this tier 1.
He's had a weak split, bro.
I mean, now DSG are
but TL have had a weak split overall, so like it's not exactly a strong statement,
with
right?
This Rift Herald, they still do have this Aphelios who will be a problem. So now it's all about.
All right, take it easy, Amber. Have a good night.
Regroup, chill
Thank
out,
you for
like
kicking it as
said,
always.
Take it slow, you know, in game
Doing
1,
the mod duties.
and try to protect him because now you have Kryra at 4-2-2. This Aatrox is going to be massive coming into team fights. Lions has been on point with these rel engages, and Calmy has a really great ball delivery system from that.
And I think TL are pretty lucky that Morgan is having such a stellar 1v1, right? Because he got counterpicked, and he's up 1.5k, and they are down as a team 1.6k. Like this would be, even if he was even, they'd be down 3k, right? And if he was losing to the counterpick, which is kind of what your expectation is, they could be completely out of the game. So credit to him. But it is kind of this redemption story that you're talking about for Lions. And we kind of touched on it, you know, how he had been performing, you know, before the Sentinel series versus kind of in the Sentinel series. You know, stats don't always tell this whole story with Sentinels, with the Sentinel series and with supports in general. But, you know, he definitely was not on form, and it's nice to see him having a good game on the row.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we see TL dropping the Rift Herald. They have been able to take down this entire outer ring of turrets using the Gnar and then the Rift Herald in mid. So that's
Torion has it right.
Solid for them. And again,
Torion
we'll be looking to see what they want to do with their next team fight, because if they give that Drake up, DSG will be on soul point.
All right,
Waste of a
DSG,
Rift? Nah,
let's
Rift
see
breaking
if you
mid
can
tier 1 here is
maintain
fine.
that control. And for TL, I want to see
Would have liked it if it wasn't going to expire on this timer here instead, but it's chill.
These previous few fights that they've taken, people jumping in alone, going in after different targets, the timing feels off. So Jed going to walk up here in mid lane. Just quick Ardent Blaze onto Yon, walks back away. Just a nice quiet distraction while they begin the Drake down here. TP's coming in. Morgan wants to be a part of this fight. This could be the big X factor here for Team Liquid, but Morgan's the only one going in at first. Narbar mostly charged. Kryra's already secured the Drake, and DSG's just going to
Quid number 1 gold difference at 10. Quid number 1 DPM. Quid number 1 damage percent. Quid number 1 KP. Quid number 2 KDA.
Yon does hit him there with the Moonlight Vigil, but Blast Cone over the wall. They're safe.
And the big thing was it looked like TL
That's
took
nice,
too
man.
long to set up that play, right? Because you saw Morgan waiting in base. It was a matter of not if he was going to TP, but when and what kind of flank
I'm happy
they were
that
looking for to try to get this Gnar
you still feel this way.
Time it around the Gnar bar, and they just weren't able to do it. DSG immediately go in, pick up that Drake, and now they're on soul point, Infernal Soul too.
They're looking really, really strong. And I mean,
Strong argument. I raise you the eye test.
Because Morgan just hit 2 items. Jose's already in 2 items. IE just got completed for Yon. But their mid lane is kind of out of the game as well, which is really, really difficult. You already have
like nice. His stats are really good, but I raise you the eye test.
You look over at the other, and you have the Oblivion Orb.
I've watched every TL game this split. I don't think I've missed an LCS game this split.
Quid is having a rough one in this game.
And meanwhile, across the aisle, Calmy is not playing vegetarian Orianna. This dude is out here just eating burger after burger. Shadow Flame plus Luden's Echo. Those shockwaves are just going to eradicate whoever they hit. Oh, so Jed trying to get away from this one. That's
oh my god, Sajid is in hell.
Jose Diodo makes it happen, but what can they get afterwards?
It would be risky to start up the Baron here. I mean, it's only 22 minutes into the game, but TL, I think, at the very least want to bait it. They want to try to clear out vision. They haven't actually swept out that one ward in the pit, though.
Imagine
so
caps of
ESG
XG.
well aware of what's going on. And remember, Baron, that big debuff could mean problems if Calmy can get him behind them. He's behind.
Okay,
Ooh.
Calmy looking for it, has to flash away to try to escape. Morgan now going to be your target.
Morgan?
DSG trying to go after
Let's
the
chill.
Gnar. Cryra stuck in the
They
middle of
one-shot
everybody.
Cryra
The
completely,
burst
didn't
is
even press
plenty
R.
enough, and DSG lose
Well, the
their
shockwave
jungler.
needs to be
Now
massive
they've got
now.
a scatter. Morgan's still alive. Nice
Oh!
engage coming out from Lions, but there is
Oh, the
no
shockwave only hit
follow-up.
one.
DSG's trying to kill off Yawn, but they don't have the damage to do it. Castle goes back in.
Jax
but he
doesn't have
falls.
damage.
Jose Diodo gets the kill on the Jax, and now DSG have
I
got
fear
to
it's
be careful.
fried.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like Calmy got a little bit too clever.
Though,
there,
I say
trying to
that-
come in from the other angle, he lost his flash early, and then he couldn't really connect with the rest of the
Like,
team.
everyone lost their flash
And
there.
even though there's this great re-engage
Yeon
from
no flash,
Lions, it
Core
just
no
didn't
flash, Quid
really
no flash,
amount to
Jose
anything.
I think flashed.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't
At the
really
beginning of
follow
the
up with
sequence.
Tlaw damage, as we see this again, where Calmy is separated from the fight. Cryra goes in. Morgan is actually able to get a really nice stun against the wall to take out Cryra there.
Now, so watch Calmy's shockwave here. So obviously he's super strong. We talk about that. He has the rank 2 shockwave. They go for the re-engage.
Yeah, so the
He gets
shockwave
ball
is
in
on
Lions. It only
Lions, and
connects on the Gnar. So
yeah, if
not
it
able
hits,
to
it's
really
so
hit
close to hitting
much of anything
Yeon there.
And I just feel like if he was on the same side of the fight with the Rel, it's a completely different game, right? You're very likely to be able to get a multi-man shockwave. And unfortunately for him, couldn't find it.
How did Aatrox get stunned there?
TL back in the lead now, plus 2,000 gold. Morgan chasing
I'd have
after
to
Lions. Team
re-watch the
invading
replay again.
enemy jungle, seeing if they can set
If you're
up
talking about the
hits
Gnar,
just like
oh,
they
I don't
done
think it stunned
the
him. I think
previous
it's just
two games,
displacement,
less than
bro.
2 minutes on
And
the
he was
clock,
stunned by
until
something
that
else.
Dragon Soul will spawn for Disguise. That one is going to be absolutely massive for TL to contest. But TL's not willing to wait. They want to contest Baron right now. Still 90 seconds until that Drake spawns. DSG is in
They're
the
dropping
neighborhood.
mid-wave TL.
We're gonna
This is
see
a
if
bit
they can
weird.
take
Quid
the
needs,
fight
well,
and
Quid is in a
crush
position
it
where he
on
can
Morgan.
kind of
Watch out
reconnect
side.
himself with these
DSG
soldiers
still
unless
on
he
the
gets snap
approach.
engaged on, but I don't
See
think it's
Castle
easy.
looking for the flank as Quid
You go,
has
Saja
to
did the
dash
right thing there
away
to force
from
him out. They
Sajan.
lost mid tower here,
Turret
TL.
destroyed in the
Really
meantime
sloppy.
over there in the mid lane, and we're just chilling. Okay, no fight.
Yeah, no fight. Jose now has opened up a really big gold lead for himself, and even off that early fight, Cryra got a lot of kills, completed his second item, but Jose has been stalwart throughout this game, has been great really the whole way through, and now completes the GA, so he is super, super strong. Quid is just going for a defensive build. He's just going to go for the Seekers because I think he realizes the game's not about him at all at this point, which is going to make it more difficult for Calmy. You know, you can react to that shockwave, throw down the stasis. It's just about, can TL keep Yawn safe and keep him hitting? Because I think if they can, they're going to be set up for success.
Yeah, and that's where I'm also still going to be looking at Jose, especially with this GA locked in for him on the next fight. And they did pull that TP off of the Jax, right? So it's going to take him much longer time to walk up to this as they return to the Baron.
Yep, Yawn's got the Chakrams here too. Look at how many of them he has stacked up. DSG still trying to approach, but the Baron is already gone. Team Liquid claim the objective. Yawn still looking for an opportunity.
This shit's
to put
fried,
those Chakrams to good work.
Twin.
DSG's not going to give it to him, but now DSG can make a beeline straight for the Drake pit.
Yeah, they can go for the Dragon, and this could be Soul, so that's actually not a good trade for TL if they do end up losing this, and it looks like they're unlikely to. Yawn is
They're
just
just
gonna go
giving
topside,
Soul.
so they get the Baron. As long as DSG can actually hold out through this Baron buff, they're going to be really happy.
We're giving Soul?
And again, it was just a weird fight because Calmy is not with the team.
We're
She was
giving
on
Soul?
flanks. He ends up actually TPing just into the Baron pit, but
Sorry.
the fight was already over. They do, though, get the Soul at the end of the day.
Hashtag
and it's gonna
those
be
who
this
know.
injection of gold for TL, but for this to be worth it, they have got
Wait, Loki, that was kind of a good
gold. I
good
know,
impression, though.
Talking to Freak, he estimated the value, the gold value of Soul.
That was Loki a
around
good impression, though.
6,000 plus gold. So that is a lot, right? There is stats on the Baron. There is a little bit of a gold injection.
Thank you for the dumb impression. I've missed him,
I don't
bro.
think they should be able to end the game with the Baron by any means.
Honestly, same.
And now you have
I missed Dom
Infernal
too.
Soul on this super fed Orianna. If that shockwave combo hits, you could be cooked.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt. Seeker's arm guard, we already
I miss
mentioned
him
it being
too.
available for the Azir, but the Orianna
I missed
also
doing
has
Power
that
Spike with
defensive
Dom, man.
tool.
I know a lot of
Calmy
people, like, I'm
hopefully
not, like,
feels
oblivious. I know a lot of
safer
people didn't like Dom and I
positioning
together
and
on Power Spike.
aggressively so that he can
Just
find
like,
high value on these shockwaves.
I think
Combo
I
them
was,
with Lions
and I never really
get
learned
that
how to be a good
huge wombo
podcaster, even,
combo
like, over
that
the course of
really
the
will
year.
make their team fight sing.
Yeah, and now the question is going to be, okay, how well can TL kind of
In terms of, like, just trying to find different angles in, like, conversations. I think I'm a lot better at it now.
Try to push out side waves. We've seen the
But, bro,
Gnar in that bot lane kind of constantly.
I miss
pushing
being
out
there
that wave.
live-o for some of the
Yeah, Lions looking
absolutely
for
bonkers
Quid,
shit
who
he would say.
immediately just shuffles
Wait,
him
Quid
back
shuffled
over
him
the wall. The
out
Azir
over
still
the wall
doing
instead
a
of
solid amount
into his
damage.
team.
TL
Oh my
moves
god.
back up here. Pantheon
Are you
only
insane,
diving
Jose?
Way into the back lines here, trying to finish off Lions and Kryra. Lions in some serious danger, does have to use the crash down defensively. Team Liquid putting the pedal to the metal here with their
Don't people just not like Dom? I mean, there's a group of people that just don't like Dom, yeah? Like, he's an abrasive
Initially, I thought Jose was going to go in way too deep, but the
personality, like, outwardly. Like, behind the scenes, absolutely not. Like, Dom's a fucking... Dom's a lovely guy.
DSG have to scatter so they can brute force this mid-tier 2. Hopefully link up now with Quid, who's been pushing up this bot
But he's got
lane and
very,
trying
very
to
strong
play on
convictions
this
about
bot
what he believes in, right? And that's just always going to be a recipe for people that disagree with him or etc. etc. But like, if you're like actually someone that is having a active conversation with Dom and you have you have like a differing opinion, he's always going to approach it in good faith.
3.4k gold lead at the end of the day with that Baron buff. They're not going to get anything more, but again, you know, around 6,000-ish gold of stats, you know, with that soul, that is essentially what that is valued at. Of course, it is different for every team comp. It depends on how easily you can apply, you know, this soul.
This Lucian build looks very vegan.
But it is
No, I don't think so.
And, you know, DSG are not in a bad spot.
This is a fine build.
TL didn't really get enough with that Baron for it to be worthwhile.
Yeah, they weren't able to get kind of that tier 2 bot that they were prepping.
It's fine if he's allowed to right click, but he's going to be very far away from IE. Like, that's
but,
the obviously
you know, all
the
in
drawback here.
turrets and 2 tier 2s actually are still standing. They pretty much just only added that mid tier 2 because they'd already had.
Bets on Elder Flip? Oh, absolutely. Like, that's what it's coming down to. We're giving soul.
Basically zero effect on this entire game. Like
We've given soul.
You know, he is getting levels.
We've given soul for Nash.
Seeming to really get a lot of gold. Hasn't been able to catch up at all. He's down almost 3k individually. Like, that is basically the entire lead is just Morgan. So, you know, if DSG can fight where Morgan and Castle are in a side lane, that is a great fight.
How did Costa fall so far behind? He's just been behind the entire game, just in ISO.
Side lane like this, you just try to draw that guy to you, and you're just running at towers, trying to force them to respond. Because if I'm not there and you're not there, it's way better for my team when I'm behind.
Right. The 4v4 for Disguised is very, very scary looking. Quid still very far behind the pace of the game himself here on the Azir, but Morgan with the 3 fully completed items on the Gnar is absolutely massive. See if he face checks into the brush here. Does take a quick burst of damage,
Wait,
but he's
shit,
just about the Gnar bar charge, so
is
he
that why that
continues
looks like
just
that?
running straight at them, and DSG back away as Castle makes his
Oh,
way
whoa!
back up
I've
the
had
map.
wait! Oh my god! The Dude, I didn't even realize. Elfriends from earlier, about 20 minutes ago. Thank you for the Prime sub, and then Tim the T-Rex as well. Thank you for subbing with Prime 11 minutes ago. Thank you guys. All right, hey, yo! And it's a frying. And it's just belt to ass. Oh, it's just belt to ass.
TL were constantly trying to look for these angles on to call me. Finally get one there. I love how they've been playing around Morgan specifically.
It's a complete
always
fraying.
looking for these flanks, and yeah, now they might be pushing for the end.
Yeah, the death timers are long. It's 20 seconds until anybody else is back up. It's only Sajed
Well,
to try to defend this. The Lucian, who had such a struggle early game, will not be able to hold the line. Team Liquid,
first ever good Baron for Soul Trade.
Game number 3.
It might
They
be.
make their way onto the Nexus turret.
Holy fuck, the
They
day
are
is saved.
green sweep disguised, and they will move
Okay,
forward,
well.
continuing their march towards first stand.
Pardon me, that is your LCS series for the day. 3 games and we're out. Wow. Okay. Well, seems as that was such a short series, what we're going to do is we're going to carry on playing Resident Evil. So obviously if you're here on Twitch, and that's all you were here for, the LCS series, then thank you for coming by. It's been lovely to have you all. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be co-streaming the CB LOL as well, so if you're free and you want to check out some more League of Legends, come by. Come by. That'll be 5 hours prior to the LCS, so that'll be 4 p.m. UK, 11 a.m. East Coast, and gosh, I think 8 a.m. if you're West Coast. So yeah, if you're on the YouTube side, thank you for dropping by, guys. It's always lovely to have you. If you could drop a like on the stream just before you leave, I'd really appreciate that, just because it helps. I want to see how much it helps, rather, with pushing out these VODs right as they're published. But yeah, that's it. If you would like to watch us go through, we're playing the Resident Evil 4 remake. If that happens to scratch an itch, and you just want to hang out and chill, and we'll probably talk about League more a little bit too whilst I'm playing through the game, then come on over to the Twitch. But we're going to end the live stream on YouTube. I keep that YouTube stream on specifically for the LCS co-streams. But if you don't want to come over, totally fine. Obviously, we're swapping up pace entirely. So yeah, thank you everyone on the YouTube side. And have a good rest of your evening, night, day, wherever you are. GG. See you tomorrow. CB LOL stream. Be there or be square. If you're not there for that, then of course, LCS, the other elimination series, FlyQuest versus Lion. That's going to be a banger for sure. So see you then.
Hard to say. I think Lions will probably win, or Lion.
Fair enough. Okay,
there you go.
Take a break.